Previously heard on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I heard someone say the other day that, the model in professional sports is like basically for every dollar you bring in, when you break it all down, you get through all the expenses, every dollar you bring in, the players are going to get between 45 and 50% of that dollar, all right? In college, it's more like about 25 to 30%. The difference is the size of the staffs. And I'm not talking about the coaching staffs. I'm talking about go to a professional operation. I'm not talking about like the Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking about your average professional sports operation. Front office wise, the people you don't see, it's pretty lean and mean. I mean, it really is. There are two people, there's one person doing two people's jobs in some of these organizations. Not all of them, but some of them. In college sports, just the people working in the building, the numbers just dwarf the people that work for professional sports organizations. And all those people have to be paid. And so there is much more of a financial burden on a college athletic department. But when you hear stories like that, like you were talking about, the average Arkansan will never set foot on a private plane. The average Arkansan, when they,
average American,
when they go to Smashburger, it's not $600 and it's not being DoorDash. I think sometimes people don't understand when they do these things how it plays. They don't understand how it looks. Maybe, life is, you don't think about that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But every time a story like that comes out, people do notice. I mean, they may not say anything, but they do notice.
It did remind me, the $600 DoorDash of Smashburger did remind me of several teenage girls in a Starbucks order. I mean,
It's just nuts.
I'm just telling you. Careful, dads.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Friggin' roller coaster, man. It's been a bumpy ride. Positives are you look up and you're 17 and 13 in the SEC. I think a lot of people would probably take that. I mean, nobody who follows us would take that, nor should they. But I think that 17 and 13 is a pretty good place to be. But it is. It's just been this is a unique year. All of the goals of the team that aren't the goals of the outside perspective are still attainable if you're hooked up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm at my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
When we lost last year against Ole Miss, it was very emotional for me. I actually stood and I made myself watch, Ole Miss celebrate.
The Rebels are rolling on to OKC for the first time in program history.
I let that fuel me, and I lost sleep for, months.
And obviously this weekend means more. You guys continue to tell us that. We got it. We know. We know what's at stake, and we've played ourselves into that position.
And that gives them three rolls in a row in this regional for Arkansas.
This team has stayed the course so well. They've been very present, and they're as ready as they can be.
Here we go. It's Friday. Super Regional Game 1, scheduled for 11 a.m., but it may be a lot later than that because the radar and the weather forecast shows rain until we get to early afternoon, and we could be looking at some sunshine by the middle of the afternoon and a super regional later in the day. Arkansas scheduled to play baseball in Hoover at the SEC tournament against Texas at 3 o'clock. That's likely to move as well, just based on the weather there and the things that have been happening there. We'll see, but could be that they end up playing at the same time this afternoon. Friday morning, Memorial Day weekend, no Chuck. Chuck is gone fishing.
He just left in the middle of the night without telling anybody.
He's out of here. Will he come back? We'll all find out together on Tuesday. But Edward's got to set up over here in Chuck's chair, and his coffee cup remains as the sign that he might come back.
I wanted to try and rig his coffee cup up to John Daly's hand, but I didn't have enough time for that.
Anybody want to take a look inside that sucker?
Not particularly.
No.
That thing has never been washed.
You know how they talk about those flat grills at certain restaurants, and that's why they have the best burgers, because they've had those grills for a long time?
They're seasoned.
Right.
They're seasoned.
Cast iron.
They've got that grease over grease over grease over grease, and that's the best burger in town. That's Chuck's coffee cup, or at least that's the way he looks at it, as a
Right.
day
Like
after
a well-seasoned
day
mug.
after day after day, and the Sharpie
Yeah, stirs it with a Sharpie.
that he stirs the Splenda in with.
There's always about half an inch of standing liquid in his cup whenever he leaves for the weekend. Not that much left. He doesn't even splash it out. Well, I'm over there setting stuff up, and
You peep it out. You take a look in there, and
you get morbidly curious.
Chuck's his own
Morbid
man.
is the right
Chuck
word.
is his own man, and if you don't believe me, you can ask him. Speaking of which, we left the show yesterday talking about this consulting report that the University of Arkansas Athletics Department received, and the Board of Trustees had a meeting earlier this week, and they got all the information. Christina Long wrote a comprehensive article about it, and we're going to have her on later and dig in a little bit. We'll try to stay out of the weeds and stay high level about things like this, which is where we left the show yesterday. Are you willing to sacrifice the success that you've had in all these other sports to try and be elite in football and men's basketball and maybe baseball? They broke down the evaluation of basically the spending and the resources that you could have at Arkansas. Where can you make money? Where are you overspending relative to what you're bringing in? This has been an ongoing conversation in college athletics because we have turned into a professional model. But college athletics is not built to be a professional model. Forever, the way that it worked was licensing agreements for television contracts in football and basketball, men's basketball, funded the rest of the athletic department. Now you had ticket sales and other things to go along with it, but by and large, if you just want to summarize it, football and basketball have funded every major athletic department in the country. And then, of course, it's subsidized by some schools get money from campus to go with ticket sales and all the ad revenue and all those types of things. And you have bigger budgets and all, bigger stadiums. And so they're not all created equal, but it's the same model. When you have to start paying players, you move into a different situation. Now that money that went to fund all these other sports is funding players. So what do you do with the deficit? Everybody's evaluating this. Arkansas cut tennis and then had to bring it back because they raised money. The people that love tennis, good for them. They raised the money. They're bringing it back. How long it will stay back, who knows? But this report from this consulting firm who delivered the evaluation of how Arkansas Athletic Department spending and to identify the revenue resources they could have, kind of compared them to other schools in their category. The likes of Kentucky, South Carolina, Missouri, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Auburn. They broke it down into 4 tiers based on profitability and exposure, or profitability and exposure potential. So football, men's basketball and baseball, tier 1, softball, women's hoops, tier 2, volleyball, gymnastics, tier 3, soccer, swimming, diving, golf, tennis, track and field, tier 4. In other words, the department needs to decide, according to this consulting firm, if it's willing to fund sports in the lower tiers at their current rates. Like, for example, baseball's way overfunded compared to their peers. Track and field's way overfunded compared to their peers, like Missouri, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, etc. So we left the air yesterday asking the question. Actually, I left 5 minutes early to go do a hog pot. I'm listening to Chuck on the radio. And he's talking about nobody tomorrow will really care about this because we'll all want to watch this softball game and win. Win a super regional and go to the College World Series. And he said that, and in that moment of the conversation of, do we want to kind of go away from winning at all these other sports in hopes of winning at football? My immediate, undivided answer was absolutely not. Because I want, as an Arkansan and as a sports fan in Arkansas, different times of the year to matter. I want this to matter today at Bogle Park. I want Arkansas baseball to matter when it comes to the postseason and getting to the College World Series. And we can all discuss whether it matters to you in track and field or it matters to you in another sport. Soccer's won SEC championships. Let me give you this stunning statistic. In the last decade, in the SEC, Arkansas has won more regular season championships than any other program in the conference. And that includes Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, A&M, Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina, LSU, Tennessee, Texas, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Missouri. Arkansas has won.
Missouri with 1, by the way.
49. They've won 48 more regular season championships than Missouri. That's your athletic program. You've won 40 in the last decade. You've won 48 more regular season championships than Missouri. But do you care? How much do you care? That's what this board meeting, that's what this evaluation is all about. If you look at Arkansas, okay, you are the king of the SEC. Florida is second, and you've got 11 more regular season championships than Florida. Texas has 8. You have 49, they have 8. How is that possible? Let's just think about that for a second. You are dominating the SEC. And this, like, I'm reading this going, this can't be right. It can't be. What is inaccurate about this graphic? Hunter Yurachek posted it. Regular season, last 10 years, all sports, regular season champions. Arkansas has dominated the league. So now they're having board meetings like, hey, do we really want to dominate the league anymore, or do we want to win at football? Because the reality is, most of these teams that Arkansas is being compared to and that they would call in the same tier or their peers, again, Kentucky, South Carolina, Missouri, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Auburn, they're not spending like Arkansas will spend and support these other programs. To me, this is fascinating because you're not just talking about moving some money around. You're talking about having a decade of dominance in the SEC, but all people want to do is win at football, and I get it. I mean, that's who we are. We're in the South. You're in the SEC. It's the biggest sport. But you go watch these other events, you know, these other games, these other sports. I mean, the SEC's got a lot of teams competing there too, and Arkansas is beating them and winning championships. So what do you do with that? For me, I want them to be good across the board. I'm not saying they need to be great in everything, but I want them to be good. And by the way, not to get on this soapbox, but the way college athletics began and what we have and the reason we have the sports that we have and the reason that's important to people and their development and their future and what they learn from it and all those types of things, you know, we've gotten away from. And so what's going to end up happening at some point is they're going to split off. Everybody's going to be responsible for their own sport. You're not going to have the athletic-wide budget that you have, department budget that you have now. That's what I think is going to happen. But anyhow, I thought that was fascinating to see that today coming out of the question yesterday. They're debating, what do you want to do with winning in all these other sports? And isn't that a weird question? You have a company.
It shouldn't be like that, right?
Well, you have a company. You have a company, right? And it's like you're winning in all these other things. and you're trying to get the one thing that's not winning to win, to be the product that it could be. But do you go cut like spending in all the things that are successful? And we can't really compare that because when you talk about business, you are talking about profitability. College athletics in every sport is not meant or hasn't been meant since the beginning of it, profitable. And
that's not the point.
But therein lies the whole conundrum with college athletics today. All right, we got to hit a break. Mike Breen's birthday today. I want to just personally wish Mike Breen a happy birthday and give Bart all day. This whole thing started because Bart goes, I don't like that. I don't like what Mike Breen does. And you went on a whole tirade, and we've looked for it. We can't find it. It was one of the epic rants.
It's lost to time.
Bang, 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 bang.
Maybe I'll try again.
I wish you would, because we're never going to stop.
I've tried twice, so maybe a third time.
We're never going to stop talking about it. It's Friday, wide open Friday. We're going to have a party today. Chuck's
Wide
out,
open
so
Friday. There's a Wayback Machine.
Yeah. Dari Nowkhah is going to join us at 6:30. Christina Long on this comprehensive article she wrote yesterday. Great job for Whole Hog Sports at 7:30. Brandon Marcello will join us at 8:30. CBS Sports. The SEC meetings begin on Tuesday. That's going to be, for the people that cover college sports, it's going to be fascinating. For you, it might be a snoozer. I just want to get to resolutions here. Oh, there are pending rules now on Will Wade's entire team being ineligible at LSU. Pending rules about if you played professionally, you cannot come back to college. Shocker. I thought we already had that rule.
By the way, I saw something yesterday. You mentioned Will Wade and LSU. The projected team for LSU as of right now has an older average age than the San Antonio Spurs. And that right there is the problem.
Well, their average age is probably more than this show. Especially when Chuck's out. 6:16, good morning. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Those are just good for your soul, man. Those are beautiful. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astro Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's nothing like a day at the pool.
Cold Yingling Lager. First pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America. It's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager. Crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager.
Switch to light lager.
And stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorback.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Life is better with community banking from First Security, where personal connections make a difference every day. Families get bankers who know their names, know their needs, and love to help. Businesses work with responsive lenders who make fast local decisions that help build success. And communities thrive with First Security because our team is rooted here too. Choose the power of personal. First Security. Bank better. FSbank.com, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo, and what if home meant waking up to bent grass fairways, mountain views, and a community that actually feels like one? Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas has just released brand new home sites right on the golf course. The first new construction in 20 years. These are premium properties in a safe, welcoming community surrounded by the natural beauty of the Ozarks at a price that might surprise you. Go big and go home. Visit BigCreekGolf.com today. That's BigCreekGolf.com. Just so you know, and we've talked about this from day one on the show, nobody's safe in here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Customer service is a buzzword. People just throw it out there. What is it to you? Showing up when you say you're going to show up, returning phone calls, providing the service that you promised to provide. Because, I mean, if we're all asking to get paid for what we're doing, we need to do what we're getting paid for. And do it with a good attitude and being responsible, not only responsible to show up, but responsible to the relationship.
A relationship you can count on from Clay Maxey and the folks at Teamwork Roofing and Construction. TeamworkBuilt.com. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
You know, fine jewelry is about more than just a beautiful piece. It's about the experience of finding it. I did that with Blakeman's. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry, providing our community with over 35 years of personalized service, world-class diamonds, and crafted custom pieces. Discover the difference of a true luxury experience at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Blakeman's, where Arkansas gets engaged.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Imagine raising your family somewhere safe, welcoming, and genuinely beautiful, where the kids have room to roam, the neighbors know your name, and the weekends are spent on the golf course, the lake, or the trails. That's Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas, a vibrant community with year-round events for all ages, world-class outdoor recreation, and brand-new home sites now available for families ready to put down roots. Small town, big life. Visit BigCreekGolf.com today and get more info.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
I've learned so much just off the air today, listening to Bart and Edward and Riley. I'm really out of touch. I mean, I really am.
With what?
With everything.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's out gallivanting the country today. We don't know where he is. We do. We're just not allowed to talk about it. It's a word I haven't felt like I've used in a while. You got to use them or you lose them. You got to use them or you lose them, Bart. That's how it works.
He got out of here fast yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He had a flight to catch.
I saw him whip out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Left out of here. I mean, it was reckless. It was a bit reckless. I mean, he cut off a white car coming up college.
Really? He didn't have a seatbelt on yet?
Probably not. And then he was behind a car in the left lane, and he just whipped around.
Hammered down?
He hammered down into the right lane with no turn signal. He was on a mission yesterday.
What if Chad Morris had the speed limit signs changed, you know? You know, like the ones that say slower cars, stay to the right.
Hammer down.
I guess they're not speed limit signs, but you know, he could left lane only.
Is
left lane.
The hammer down lane.
Yeah,
it's like the hub lane.
But
it's the hammer down lane.
The Hogs will maybe play baseball at 3:00 today. That could be delayed as well. I think the Arkansas softball game is going to be delayed just based on the radar and the rain chances.
Doesn't look promising.
That go into early afternoon, but I think they'll get it in. It'll just be later in the day. Arthur is in Vermont. Arthur, my man, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. So I guess did Chuck did he leave with that friend of his, Clay? I mean, I'm not sure I'm on board with this fishing trip, but it is what it is.
I can assure you, there's one thing that Chuck is not doing, and that's fishing with Clay.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure about that guy, Clay. So.
Well, nobody is. I mean.
Let me get the couple of these more unpleasant things out of the way first. I honestly, listening to what was said about the consultant thing, I think Bart could have done a better job. I could have, with a little AI, and he basically already said what the whole gist of it is they think they should cut a bunch of money from different sports, but they tried that, and Arkansas is blessed. The University of Arkansas is blessed with some people who really can boost this program, and there's really not much similarities in my life with a lot of these boosters, but the one thing we do share is a passion for Razorback athletics. And, I can't tell other people how to spend their money, but so far they have always really come through with facilities, and now it looks like they figured out this NIL thing. And, so I think really worried about nothing. I think the people that support these different athletic programs aren't going to shift. If nothing else, they're not going to shift what the athletic program does. I really feel like the people behind Arkansas athletics definitely care. I care. I love the fact that, no matter, wherever I am, USA, that the TV will turn on, and if it doesn't matter if it's men's, women's track, college golf, women's cross country, Arkansas is represented, and they're very competitive. It hasn't worked out in football, but I think taking this little road show and going to Frisco, Texas, which have you ever seen that practice facility there for the Cowboys? Words do not do it justice. It is out of this world, and they're saying, I'm glad Silverfield went there. There's an aggressive, large population of Razorback fans that are, anytime Arkansas plays in Dallas, it doesn't matter the sport. Arkansas is well representative with a fan base that is very much as aggressive as the Little Rock fan base was when War Memorial was relevant. I think Chuck has also mentioned that if Arkansas has any sense of success, if they go 6-6 to 8-4 this year, the money will start coming. It won't even be a problem. That's my belief.
You're right.
How is Bart feeling this morning? I'm sure that if there's one person who's going to be very disappointed that the game doesn't start on time, it would be Bart. I certainly hope he is able to relax this morning and not pace in the room. But if he is, I get it.
Super regional. Big
super regional.
Arthur, we gotta go. Dari's coming up. You got any party? Do you have anything big you had left out yet? I just want to move it along. We got to get going.
Okay. Well, if there's one person outside of Houston Nutt who can get his team ready to play Texas, it's Dave Van Horn. So yeah, I hope they're ready. I know the vibe's going to be right. And after the softball, then we got that team from Austin. So yeah, bang, they're going to do that today.
There it is. All right, 6:27. A couple big games today. The Super Regional being the biggest because, you're playing Duke for the right to go to the College World Series. 2 out of 3, game 1 today. 11 a.m. scheduled first pitch will likely be delayed. We're brought to you in part by Blakeman's, where they're more than jewelry. They're about your story. They're the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. It's where Arkansas gets engaged. Dale, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, my gosh. I'm finally on.
You're on.
I've been listening to you guys forever. You guys are awesome.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. Hey, it's Bo. What should you expect when it comes to a roof or a remodel? Here's Teamwork COO Brett Husky.
We make it easy. That's the first thing. Because when we looked at this, we felt like the process shouldn't be hard. And the easier we can make it for customers, the easier it makes it for us and for our people to continue to do business.
Teamwork Roofing and Construction, making it easy, and now offering financing. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by Teamwork.
Hey
Hey guys. You're having a great show today.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
For every million people, we've got 2 NFL players.
Yeah, that's really bad. Among the worst in the country.
It'd be something to speak at to an elementary class about doing whatever you want. Hey, listen.
We've got, what, 310 million people in
You could be one of the
Arkansas?
6.
310.
You want to be one of the 6? Get started today. Push-ups. Let's go.
That's about right.
Meanwhile, Mississippi, a state with a smaller population than Arkansas, has about 14 NFL players per million people. So dug into the numbers.
Less
a little
competition in Arkansas if you want to grow up an NFL player.
Yeah. In the 1970s, Arkansas produced 42 NFL players. In the 1980s, 44. In the 1990s, 33. In the 2000s, 32. In the 2010s, 27. And so far in this decade, which is more than half over, 12. That's the ball game right there.
Sports are part of a small town's identity, not just in Arkansas, but throughout the South, throughout our country. When you lose that, your town loses an identity, and over time you lose hope. And I realize I'm getting in some areas people don't like getting into, and I'll live with that. But I've just watched it, and it is a byproduct. And I'm going to tell you something Ryan Silverfield's doing that I like. I like the fact that he's signing in-state kids. I don't know if they're any better than the out-of-state kids. I have no idea. We'll find out when they get here. But I think it's important for high school football players in our state to feel like they can come play for the Razorbacks. I think that's important. I think it's important for towns to see that. It's part of their identity. It's part of who they are. And you never know when one of them is going to produce the next Traylon Burks or somebody like that, or Darren McFadden or someone. But you got to put yourself in a position to get those kids and to have them out there in the first place.
I appreciate you saying all that. There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Roger and the team are always there to help.
I love it. I've been doing this for 53 years, and one of the things I love most about it is our customers. Part of what makes me love the retail business is just the interaction with my customers.
Macadoodle, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astro Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're looking for tough, reliable equipment for people you trust, WT Equipment delivers. WT Equipment is a local, family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas, and they've built their reputation by carrying the brands you know and depend on. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, and Steel, they have the equipment and implements to get the job done right. Whether you're tackling a big job or everyday work, WT Equipment offers a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance, including compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more. Their lots are packed and ready to move with special deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built to handle any job you throw at it. Nobody does light construction or hay and forage better than WT Equipment. Backed by trusted service and support long after the sale. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today or log on to WTEquip.com. Tools you trust and people you know. The Chuck and Bo Show on Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
I knew I had to show up because after Chuck does a game, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't feel like there's a world where Chuck is not showing up and also lets us know.
That's true. If I don't show up, you need to try to contact me because there's an issue.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The issue today is he's on a road trip. Memorial Day weekend, Friday extended for Chuck Barrett. Dari Nowkhah also knows about National Road Trip Day. He's on the road frequently. And the face of the SEC network, host of SEC Now, host of his own radio show that airs in Norman, Oklahoma. Dari, good morning.
Good morning, Bo. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How was Hoover?
Oh, it was great. I'm home. I got home last night. Oh man, do I have a travel story for you? But it was good. Weather held off for the most part, which was okay. We only had a very minor blip in the weather radar, but no issues, no stoppages, none of that so far. I don't know what the rest of the week looks like for those guys that are still there covering it, but it won't be me. But it was good, man. It's always good.
You put in your time. It's time to go home. Arkansas
I put in my time.
plays Texas today. So what happened on the way home?
Well, yesterday I was supposed to grab I did the show stuff yesterday. Midway through the day, I was supposed to go I had a 6:40 flight home, and I got notified at about 3:30 that flight was not going to be leaving on time. It was going to be 8:20, so it's an hour and 40-minute delay. So, I still had the hotel room for the day, so I went back and laid down, took a little bit of a nap, and woke up. And on my way to the airport, like I should have been, was going to be there about an hour and a half early. And on my way to the airport, was notified that 6:40 delay that had been pushed back to 8:20 was now actually brought back to 6:51, and the plane would be leaving in 15 minutes, which is just a bunch of BS.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so I walk into the airport in Birmingham, and there's nobody at the American desk. It's all dark. I can't go into TSA because I had a bag to check. So I went down and I got a rental car, and I drove the 6.5 hours home. Got home at about 2:30.
See, look at that decision making. You didn't even mess with it.
No, I needed to get home.
I'm driving home.
That's it.
I'm coming home, kids. Honey, I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
I got the rental car. Dad's a hero. He's a hero. He drove home. I could have been there till tomorrow. Could have that whole night to myself. No, I'm driving home tonight, kids.
Bo, how do you do that?
I've traveled a lot, almost as much as you have at certain times, and I don't recall getting a delay and then it changing. I mean, that is so rare.
Unbelievable.
That is so rare. Hey, we're back on schedule. We're back on schedule. We told you this so you could schedule around it, but we're back on. I mean, just that's wild. Well, hey, I'm glad you made it home, and you're still doing the show this morning. Thank you for that. I'm sure you could have used the sleep, but we have you here. Hey, Dari, do you know in the last decade who has more SEC regular championships as a team in this conference than anybody else?
Say that again. I lost part of what you said there. Say that one more time.
So in the athletic departments of the SEC, who has the most regular season championships in the last decade?
Who has the last? Or who has the most?
Who has the most regular season championships across all sports in the SEC?
Are you asking me this because it's Arkansas?
It is. With 49, 11 more than Florida, who has 38. They've got 48 more regular season championships than Missouri. Missouri has one.
One. Wow.
Now, this comes up because Arkansas got a consulting company to basically evaluate how they're doing things compared to the other programs in this conference that they would say are on the same tier, like Missouri, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Kentucky, Auburn.
Okay.
And the question we think that is happening in our state is, do you sacrifice what you're spending in some of these other sports that you're winning at to be better at football?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a topic that we're going to see continue in a lot of places. So my question to you is, if you're running an athletic department right now in the SEC, are you trying to win at other sports or just basically football, basketball, and maybe baseball?
Well, I would love to think that you are trying to win at other sports as well. Boy, that's an impossible.
Because this
situation.
whole thing has suddenly turned into, like, we've always known it's important to be good at football in the SEC, but now it's become like the only thing that seems to matter in a lot of cases because of the way everything's set up and the money that's being paid.
And you're putting all of your athletic departments against one another, or your sports against one another.
Right. Everybody's kind of on their own, like fighting for their own meal.
That's right. Yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous. I mean, obviously, what was it? The tennis program that was cut and then brought back when the funds were raised for that. Then you're like, well, why couldn't the funds have been raised before that? Why did we have to cut it to all of a sudden have people donate to? Because people don't have, not everybody can afford to pay for every sport there. It is. Yeah, that's an interesting. I didn't realize that was how or why that study was done. But it does. It kind of just feels gross, doesn't it? Like it does. It does feel gross, and I don't know what I would do. You can't do anything. You without revenue from football, you have virtually, or men's basketball, you have virtually nothing. You can't afford any sports, so you are dependent upon those. You're not dependent upon revenue in quotes because there isn't any from any other sport at a place like Arkansas or most other schools around the country. So naturally, if you want the rest of them or any of the rest of them to survive, you really have to focus on football and men's basketball. And the better you are at those, the more championships you're playing for, the more money you're bringing in to support some of those other schools. But then are you putting any money towards those other sports? Are you putting money towards? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's one of these modern day college athletics dilemmas that nobody ever had to face before.
No, it's just a result of everything's about the money now. That's where we are. When we started paying the players, and by the way, the other salaries aren't going down. Coaches, assistant coaches, athletic directors, all the other departments that you need, and it's all become about money. All right, let's talk about something slightly more entertaining. The college football playoff. So I saw an article in The Athletic and they went back over the last 12 years. If we had a 24-team college football playoff for the last 12 years, 80 different teams, 80 different teams would have played in the college football playoff.
Which is roughly almost 2/3 of all of FBS football.
Well, and we've always talked about the power conferences making up like 65 or 64 teams, right? And so that's beyond that number. And so I looked, and sure enough, 1 year Arkansas would have made the college football playoff if we had a 24-team playoff. Yeah. And then I said to myself, well, does it even matter? Like, if there's that many teams that made it, it suddenly doesn't feel special anymore, does it?
Well, it feels inclusive, which college football playoff has never felt before. It feels inclusive. Now, how many of those 80 teams would have had a chance in hell, right, of even being one of the last 8 standing?
No.
Right? I mean, so
this is not the NCAA tournament, which, by the way, isn't the same as it used to be either.
No.
But we're not having Cinderellas in college football playoffs. We're not having Cinderella runs.
No, and I fully believe there will never be a day that a group of 5 team beats a power team in the college football playoff. Not a day there. I believe that will never happen. Not in the entire future of the game will a power conference team lose to a group of 5 in a playoff.
It's one thing in the regular season to catch somebody sleeping.
That's right.
You're not going to catch them sleeping in the playoff.
No, you are not. When they know that they can lose a game and still be okay, you're naturally going to have some of that. It's not completely out of the question, but it is in the college football playoff. And not that I'm not saying that because that's Arkansas, obviously, but some of the best group of 5 teams are as good as probably some of the Power 4 teams in a 24-team playoff that would make it. So they're just not going to beat one of the top tier teams, which is who they'd be matched up against in the early going. It's one of these things but it almost kind of feels like that's where we're going anyway. Bo, do you ever find yourself like this is kind of, we have our opinions on how much is too much and what we think it's going to do to the game and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, we talk Monday through Friday about the game that's coming up on Saturday. We watch the game Saturday, and it means the world to us at the time because whether that's what's important to you in your life or that's what we do for a job and that's what's important to us for our livelihood, we watch it. We watch it as intensely, if not more intensely than we ever did. We talk about it on Saturdays. We go back to work. We talk about it Monday through Friday. We get ready for the next game, and then we watch the next game. And it matters to us just as much. And that's what's going to happen in the NCAA tournament. And that's what's going to happen if we go to a 24-team playoff. And we'll all be watching that Iowa-Ole Miss matchup in the second or the first round of the playoff because, man, it's college football, and the atmospheres are going to be great because it's on campus, and it's a playoff game, and it matters. And then we're not going to have any less interest in it. We'll complain about it, and we'll whine about it, and we'll say it's too many teams. The same way we talked about they transfer too many times, and how can this guy make $3.5 million playing college football? Why wasn't a scholarship enough anymore? But we're all going to watch it, and we're going to love it, and we're going to talk about it, and our mood is going to be dependent upon how it comes out in the end. And that's just what we do because we love college sports.
There it is.
Despite all of its changes.
Bulletproof.
It is. It feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah,
college football feels bulletproof.
It really does. It really does. Well, we're going to find out. They're bound and determined. There
will be bullets.
To help us find out because all the bullets are flying. Dari, you're the best, man. It's always great to catch up. We'll do it again soon. Hope things are well on all fronts.
Likewise for you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, my man. Appreciate you. He is Dari Nowkhah, and he had a travel experience yesterday where they told him his flight was delayed, and then they sent a notification about 15 minutes before the original flight was supposed to take off that it was no longer delayed. That's like you could never experience that luck sitting at an airport. But if you've taken a nap and had your hotel room like extended, yeah, that's just wild. Unfortunate, too. Hey, WT Equipment can help you get the job done. They do it every day for all kinds of Arkansans. Whether you have a farm, you got your own land, or you just got some light construction work that needs to be done. Maybe you're in the light construction business. WT Equipment has Bobcats. They've got Steel, Hustler, New Holland. But the Bobcat's the great equipment you need for that light construction work. WTEquip.com. You can find them online. 4 great locations throughout the state, family owned and operated. WT Equipment, getting the job done. 6:45. More of your thoughts coming up.
Well, I've got a lot more rhythm than people realize.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You get it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acuras, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutopark.com. That's FayettevilleAutopark.com.
Arkansas fans know that some things are just timeless, like a spring afternoon at Baum Walker or the roar you only hear at Bud Walton. Our friends at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry believe your milestone should be just as enduring as the Razorback spirit. They've spent over 35 years helping fans celebrate their big moments right here in Northwest Arkansas. Whether you're marking a graduation, an anniversary, or just a big Saturday in the SEC, let their teams help you find that perfect piece. This spring, go big, go bold, and go to Blakeman's in the heart of Pinnacle Hills.
The Arkansas Razorback softball team has advanced to the Super Regionals. Coach Deifel and the Hogs will be back in Bogle Park this weekend with a chance to advance to their first ever Women's College World Series. We need the stands packed and for Razorback fans to bring the energy. Purchase your tickets online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com, or you can call the Razorback Ticket Center at 479-575-5151. Purchase your tickets today.
Hey, it's Bo, and it seems like every day somebody else is asking me about the Sweating 'em Edge. It's real. It's a new me. It can be a new you. It's completely changed my energy level and my exercise gains. My mind's clearer. I sleep better. Life's just more enjoyable. If you get drained in the afternoon, or maybe you just can't shake that weight, do what I did. Take the Sweating 'em Edge. It's a free consultation. You get your results, and they'll give you a game plan. Just search the Sweating 'em Edge or log on to sweating'emcosmetic.com.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at pascalpropath.org.
This is Chuck Barrett, and I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye Associates for my recent cataract surgery. They took great care of me. You have to have good vision to be the voice of the Razorbacks, and I'm glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye. I learned patients of all ages have a lot of options when it comes to modern surgery to reduce or even eliminate your eyeglasses. They've been taking care of patients for over 50 years, and that says a lot. So for your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Be talking down to people, Bart.
I'm going to talk down to people when they're wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at pascalpropath.org.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to jamesboyett.com. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing like a day at the ballpark.
Cold Yingling Lager, first pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America, it's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager, crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager,
switch to light lager,
and stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
D.G. Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
I was just thinking this morning on the drive in, boy, it's going to be nice to see Chuck, and I don't usually think that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It looks like rain until well after the first pitch at Bogle Park today. This is not an announcement. It's just my take. I would be surprised if the game doesn't get moved back.
I wonder if that I Hate Christian Leitner 30 for 30 on ESPNU is going to get bumped.
I don't know. I mean, I hope it doesn't affect television. I guess they'll put it on television wherever it lands. So ESPNU may have to move things around. It is on ESPNU, right?
Yes.
So it's scheduled for 11 o'clock first pitch, but I think it's going to be later. And it's raining all morning in Hoover. So that game could get pushed back. Arkansas, Texas at the SEC baseball tournament. But no pushing this show back, even though Chuck's out today. Brent is in Searcy. Brent, what's going on?
What's going on, Bo? Long time no talk to you, my man.
I know. Well, where have you been? You okay?
Oh, yeah. It's game day, Bo.
It is game day. Couple of game days.
I've had a couple heaters. I'm ready to go, Bo.
Oh, golly, Brad. We got to stop that. We got to get you off those cigs.
Oh, come on, Bo.
All right. Okay. You do you. You do you. You do you.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Bo, this is a big day for Razorback sports right here. Our lady softball team got a chance to put a stranglehold on a trip to Oklahoma City, take care of business this first game. And our Razorback baseball team, we're just going to take care of Texas. Jim Schlossnagel, he's headed back to Austin on the bus.
Send him home. Schlossnagel actually said that when he was the coach at A&M and at TCU and came to play at Arkansas, that it was a great atmosphere. But when he came in as the Texas head coach, he felt different. Like the fans and the atmosphere was different. This matters to fans. This matters to people like Brent. If you grew up in that Texas era, you just can't. It doesn't matter how long it's been since you played them. You just want to step on their face.
Hey, Bo, it runs deep because of my family. You know that.
Yeah.
My dad said, I just despise them. They just make that color just makes me ill.
Was it the arrogance,
just
Brent?
remember-
Was it the arrogance of Texas? Was it, if you had to pick one thing, was it arrogance?
Oh, no question, it's arrogance, Bo. It's arrogance. And as my dad said, 1964, we just went in there and stomped a mud hole.
There is
Made 'em
nothing
enjoy it.
better in sports than taking it away from some arrogant you-know-what. Just walk off a winner.
Oh, there's nothing.
And there's nothing they can do about it except take their arrogant butt home.
There's nothing better than taking something away from an arrogant person, whether it's in athletics or in regular everyday life, Bo. Just to see them.
Just to see them waller in it. And on that note, happy Friday, 6:55. Good morning.
Hey, here's a Memorial Day sales offer you don't want to miss. Up to $14,000 off MSRP at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Save up to $14,000 when you buy a new 2026 Chevy Silverado. But don't wait. This offer's only good during the Memorial Day sales event at Chevrolet of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive. Log on to ChevroletofFayetteville.com for complete details.
Man, I love spending time at Big Creek Country Club and Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark. Members enjoy it all. They've got state-of-the-art practice facilities, dining, events, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, as well as tennis and pickleball courts. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. Big Creek Country Club and Mountain Home. Your home away from home.
You know, I love talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, and Bo's latest selling experience is a perfect example of why. Within 5 minutes of listing his home, Bo had a showing, and just 2 days later, he had an offer. And just like my own experience with them, they took care of everything from start to finish. That's what you get when you work with a trained real estate professional. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been turning houses into homes since 1978, serving Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and Branson. For more information, log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
Interviews, highlights, behind-the-scenes access, and so much more. Varsity Vibe is your go-to for high school athletics in Arkansas. Learn the stories of coaches and players in our Varsity Vibe podcast. See the biggest plays and the best performances highlighted on our social media platforms. And if newsletters are more your style, we've got that too. High school sports at your fingertips. Varsity Vibe, elevating the game.
I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but this is a blast for me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas fans know that some things are just timeless, like a spring afternoon at Baum Walker or the roar you only hear at Bud Walton. Our friends at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry believe your milestone should be just as enduring as the Razorback spirit. They've spent over 35 years helping fans celebrate their big moments right here in Northwest Arkansas. Whether you're marking a graduation, an anniversary, or just a big Saturday in the SEC, let their teams help you find that perfect piece. This spring, go big, go bold, and go to Blakeman's in the heart of Pinnacle Hills.
We talk a lot about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because our experience has been great. And Bo, you're going through it again right now.
For the second time. My son's a first-time home buyer. Him and his wife got a beautiful home. And for me, I just turned it over to them. They gave me a few things to sign, and it took all the work off my plate. And I just sit back and watch it happen.
That's what happens when you deal with a trained real estate professional. And that's what they are at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
At First Security Bank, banking isn't one size fits all. It's personal because everyone's financial journey looks a little different. From managing day-to-day spending, running a small business, to helping your kids learn more smart money habits, or taking that big step toward buying a home. At First Security, you get the services you expect, the technology you need, and the real support of local people who live here, know the community, and take the time to understand what you're trying to accomplish. Life moves fast, And having a bank that moves with you makes a difference. Whether you prefer stopping by a branch, banking on the app, or picking up the phone to talk with someone who actually knows your name, First Security is there. They offer smart tools like mobile banking, bill pay, and mobile check deposit, along with thoughtful solutions like flex banking for kids, checking built for small businesses, and local mortgage lenders who guide you through the home buying process. Choose the power of personal. Bank better at First Security. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Previously heard on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I do think that there is value in this because, look, I don't know how else to say it. As you build, if you're struggling, as you struggle, all of those things. Sometimes it's better to do it with kids from your own backyard than it is with kids that nobody knows anything about, because you root for kids from your own backyard. And that's one of the things, it's one of the reasons that I think it's important for all programs to sign in-state kids. And I know the portal is going to determine a lot of programs' fates. Maybe Arkansas is one of them. I don't know. But you got to have that core. I also think it grows the game, and it makes it fashionable. Now, you can say, well, it's football. I mean, what are you talking about? Football is already, you don't need to grow football anymore. I think you need to grow the idea that high school football players in Arkansas can go play for the Razorbacks. That's what a generation grew up believing. And I'm not saying it hasn't always been true. The truth is, it has always been that way. But I think the public perception perhaps has changed in that regard. And I think what he's doing there is good. Now, look, if you go out there and you're full of in-state kids and you're, nothing changes, maybe that's not the way to go. But I honestly think, Bart, what he's doing right now, I think long term, I think this benefits a lot of people. I just put it that way.
Hey, it's Bo. Thanks for tuning in. Hang out with Chuck and I every weekday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I'll tell you what I did during the storm, what all middle-aged men do. I opened my garage door, I walked out to the driveway, I looked around.
Thought about having a cigarette?
I assessed the situation. I looked down the street, I saw other middle-aged guys doing the same thing. And all of a sudden, everybody's garage door closed, and we all went back inside. That's how it works in the neighborhood on a stormy day.
That is such a great reality. That is so true. What is it about, like, appreciating the rain?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink the snow.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
the show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm at my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
This team has just been so level all year. They haven't really rode the highs and lows that this game can throw in your face and challenge you with. And I do think that we've had teams that have done a pretty good job with that, but not as good to the level that this team has done that. And I think that's the biggest thing. They control their emotions really well. They're really emotionally mature and elite at what they do. And so when you have those things, you are poised to play, as close to yourself as you can when the stakes are high. And they've done that so far. And obviously this weekend means more. You guys continue to tell us that. We got it. We know. We know what's at stake. And we've played ourselves into that position. And so we've done that by trusting ourselves. This team has stayed the course so well. They've been very present. And they're as ready as they can be.
Courtney Deifel, I love how she handles things. They're going to go to the College World Series. I don't know if it'll be this year. I expect them to go this year. They play Duke starting today. First pitch scheduled for 11 a.m. 100% chance of rain at 11 a.m. according to my weather app. It's not raining now, at least where we are here in Fayetteville, but the chance of rain increases At 8 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock, it's in the 90% range, and then 10 o'clock, it's 99%, 11 o'clock, 100%, and then it starts to taper off about 1 o'clock. But really kind of tapers off when you get to, late afternoon. I mean, this game could be a prayer answered, literally a prayer answered by Bart, where they end up playing, early evening. You've been praying about this, haven't you? How many days? How many days in a row have you prayed about?
I have not been doing that. I've not
because
been doing
it feels to me like that is what's happening. I mean, the moment they announced it was an 11 a.m. start,
I will. If ESPNU has to bump the Christian Laettner 30 for 30 that came out over a decade ago to actually air a live softball super regional,
that is available on demand at any time on the ESPN app.
That would make me laugh.
Yeah.
I would laugh at the expense of ESPN's programming director.
See, why can't you just enjoy it? Why do you always gotta be mad at somebody?
Well, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at somebody.
Take a shot at somebody.
Well, because
just
they deserve
say,
it.
Lord, thank you.
They deserve it, man.
In the delayed game to give me the start time I wanted.
I did a rain dance. I did a rain dance last night.
You don't even have to say, in spite of those idiots at ESPN, just say thank you.
No, but I want to.
Just say thank you.
Yeah, well.
Because it looks to me
we'll see what
as
happens.
if that's what's happening.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if the weather system holds together. We'll see what the day holds.
Arkansas trying to punch its first ticket to the College World Series in Oklahoma City. Isn't this great? Isn't it great to have a great softball team?
It's pretty
fun. We talk about the baseball team every year. They're so good, and they've been so consistent that if they don't go to Omaha, we're exasperated. We're just like, we can't even understand what could have possibly happened that they didn't go to Omaha. Those are two sports that are not revenue-producing sports. Are we not glad we have them? As a sports fan, I am. And whatever it takes to win in football, I hope it doesn't come at the expense of anything else you're good at. Soccer,
I
track
agree.
and field,
I wholeheartedly
golf.
agree. It's good to be good at things. It's
gonna-
fun to be good at things.
Put this down on the board, Edward. Make sure I hit this quota. I've got to mention at least 4 more times today that Arkansas has won 49 regular season SEC championships in the last decade, and that's 11 more than anyone else in the conference. And believe me, I care about football as much or more than you do. I love college football. I love covering Arkansas. I've been covering Arkansas football for nearly 30 years. And let me tell you, that is not a lot of fun most of the time. So I want it to be great just like you do. I promise you. I promise you. But I don't want it to be at the expense of these other sports and these games, because when we get to May and June, I want something to care about, like in sports. And we're college people. Like, we can watch MLB and we can talk about the NBA finals and all that stuff, and we'll watch a great golf tournament. We need more. We need softball. We need me personally. I'm just telling you that's me. I want them to be good. So don't go cutting all that stuff. Figure out a different way. And honestly, not to belabor this point, because I want to move on and take calls. Honestly, you get the right guy, and if that's Silverfield, it'll be fine. You win a few games, you win a few more games, you get people on board, you see the vision. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about somebody running the program that knows what they're doing, that you can see knows what they're doing, and people believe in. And all this other stuff that we talk about is all real, but that's the number one thing. It's always been that way. It'll always be that way. All right, let's take some calls. Nelson and Harrison. Nelson, good morning.
Hey, guys. I've been wanting to call in since, probably the first of last week or so. It's just very funny to me. Whenever all the tennis stuff came about, the amount of attention that the tennis program got, because of the fact that it was was closed. You know, the tennis program had not got that much attention before, but the lynch mob that was out for Hunter Yurchek grabbed a hold of that and said, see, he's not doing his job right.
Right.
And then what happens is they shut the program down, and this group comes together, and they're like, oh, we'll fund it just to stick it to Hunter Yurchek. But what they don't understand is they're proving his point. They're making his point for him. You know, these sports that are funded by the university can have other avenues of funding if the people want to do it. So therefore, Hunter Yurchek is right, you know, by saying, you know, we can't fund this anymore. In this current situation, funding these are not what we are going to do, because it's not going to better. I mean, tennis is fine, but nobody really cared about tennis outside of the niche tennis people that like tennis. So, and the groundswell that came up with that from the lynch mob, that's like, oh, we got to get behind this now. Why? Why do that? Why cut off your nose to spite your face? You know? And I want to say this. Yurchek ain't done everything right, but like you said, we've won more SEC championships. You know, our sports programs have been competitive in the SEC. Football hasn't. But I'm going to tell you, I want to ask you this, Bo. How hard do you think it was for Hunter Yurchek to say, okay, I've got Mike Anderson over here. He's a state darling. You know, he's the one people wanted in here. He's competent, but he's not where we want to be. It wasn't easy for Hunter Yurchek to let Mike Anderson go and go out and get a guy from Nevada that nobody really knew. But that was the guy we needed, because the program before was like, well, you can't get people in here. You can't recruit kids. What happened? They got a guy in here, Musselman, that wanted to put into work. We were back in the Sweet 16. We were back in the Elite 8. And that's the same thing that, you know, people got to understand. Without the right person, you're not going to get the money. And without the right person, you're not going to get the kids. And that's like Calipari bringing in A-Cup and these kids that he's bringing in. I mean, you know, that don't just happen at a place like Arkansas. It takes work, or it takes a name. And, guys, I just want to say, I've been wanting to call in and say this. The thing with the tennis program just tells me that if Arkansas fans really want to put their money where their mouth is, do it. Don't be sitting here saying, oh, it's Hunter Yurchek's fault. It's this person's fault. No, if you're a fan, put your money where your mouth is. Go home.
There you go. Nelson and Harrison. Happy birthday, Mike Breen. How old is Mike Breen today? You want me to guess? I'll guess. I'll do the quick guess. Mike Breen's birthday. He's the originator of the show staple. I'm going to guess. I met Mike Breen when I was 20. He was calling a game in Miami. I think he was working for the Knicks at the time. So if I was 20, I'm guessing he was 10, 12 years older than that. I'm going to guess that Mike Breen is 61.
I'll go 63.
That was my first guess.
Chuck's
but I didn't want to take Chuck's age from him.
Mike Breen, 65 years old.
65.
Today.
Oh.
He doesn't look a day over 61. Jason in Hot Springs. Jason, good morning. What's going on?
Hey, Chuck. Bo, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm solo. No Chuck today. Chuck's out. He's out on the road. He's out having a time. Can't wait to hear about all the experiences that he's having all weekend long on Tuesday.
I just want to talk to you about Razorback softball. They playing Duke today. They're at 11 a.m. If they and Chuck and Bart, I'm gonna ask you a question. If the softball team wins today against Duke and tomorrow, and they gonna go to their first ever Oklahoma City in the women's College World Series, I am very, very happy for them. And I just want to say, good job for these ladies because they have never been to a women's College World Series in a while. So,
yeah, ever, in fact.
I'm gonna say this because if they win on Saturday against Duke, but if it's a big if they win tonight, today, or tomorrow, they have a really good shot to go to women's college World Series OKC, and they're gonna win. I don't know who they playing though, but are you gonna watch the game?
Yeah, we're gonna watch the game. We're gonna watch the game, and I think the question Jason is asking as we go to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, and we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's okay. That's what we do sometimes. If Arkansas makes it to the College World Series, Bart, who are they going to play, or what super regional are they matched up with, and what do you think of their chances to make a run when they get to OKC?
Yeah, so the winner of the Arkansas Duke Super Regional will play the winner of the Oklahoma State Nebraska Super Regional in Oklahoma City. Game one, which would be next Thursday. All four first games or opening round games happen next Thursday. Oklahoma State and Nebraska tried to start playing their game last night. They got an inning and a third in before it was delayed and eventually postponed to today. So they'll resume today, I think at 4:00 that game. As far as Arkansas's chances, look, this is a team that is battle tested. They're number one in the RPI, played the toughest schedule in the nation. They played road series against the top 3 seeds in the tournament: Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas, and went 4-5 in those 9 games. Oklahoma City's a neutral site, so to speak. I mean, there will be a lot of Sooner fans there. My point is this Razorback team is as good as anybody in the country and absolutely can make a run and contend. I mean, look, if you get there, you've made a run and you're a contender. This team can win a national championship. They're that good. They're good enough to do it. If they play their best, that can happen.
Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, that's where we find Bart. There you go, Jason. Question answered. If you've got a question for Bart, he's here. 877-377-6963. If you got a question for Chuck, Edward will answer those. I'll handle the rest of them. Chevy of Fayetteville, the Chevy Silverado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, just $36,000. It's Chevy Truck Month inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. Silverados, $14,000 off, 0% on new Chevy Silverados, over 200 to choose from. That's Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive. 7/17, Friday. Let's go. I don't even know now. I don't even know what I was about to say.
We were talking about...
It's profound.
What were we talking about?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You get it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acuras, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutopark.com. That's FayettevilleAutopark.com.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Still searching for the perfect summer getaway? Mountain Home Arkansas might just be your answer. Wake up in the Ozark Hills. Hit the White River at sunrise. World-class fishing, hiking, trails, kayaking, and when the sun goes down, it's the kind of quiet you forgot existed. 2 lakes, 1 great town. All right here in the Arkansas Ozarks. Check it out at enjoymountainhome.com. Mountain Home Arkansas, where the outdoors is a way of life.
He's Chuck Barrett. He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Customer service is a buzzword. People just throw it out there. What is it to you? You showing up when you say you're going to show up, returning phone calls, providing the service that you promised to provide. Because, I mean, if we're all asking to get paid for what we're doing, we need to do what we're getting paid for. And do it with a good attitude and being responsible, not only responsible to show up, but responsible to the relationship.
A relationship you can count on from Clay Maxey and the folks at Teamwork Roofing and Construction. TeamworkBuilt.com. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. You know, fine jewelry is about more than just a beautiful piece. It's about the experience of finding it. I did that with Blakeman's. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry, providing our community with over 35 years of personalized service, world-class diamonds, and crafted custom pieces. Discover the difference of a true luxury experience at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Blakeman's, where Arkansas gets engaged.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Imagine raising your family somewhere safe, welcoming, and genuinely beautiful, where the kids have room to roam, the neighbors know your name, and the weekends are spent on the golf course, the lake, or the trails. That's Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas, a vibrant community with year-round events for all ages, world-class outdoor recreation, and brand new home sites now available for families ready to put down roots. Small town, big life. Visit BigCreekGolf.com today and get more info.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show. It is, when you stop and think about it, we poke holes in it, but I mean, it is amazing what is out there in terms of artificial intelligence, but yet, every time I read it, I don't worry as much about the future of mankind.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
How are we doing today? 7:22. They're not going to change the game time. They're not going to come out and announce, oh, it's now a 2 p.m. start at Bogle Park. But it's probably going to be delayed based on the forecast and the radar. It'll be raining at the time they would have the scheduled first pitch. And so most likely it's going to come later today. But, I mean, don't let this be a Dari situation where they sent you a notification that your flight was no longer at 6:40. It was at 8:20. And so you rest and then get to the airport an hour and a half before that would be. And you find out 15 minutes before getting there that they've moved the flight back to about 6:40. So that could happen with softball. I mean, I can't tell you that the weather is going to do whatever. I can just show you what the radar is doing and the hour-by-hour forecast, which I think we all go by. And looks like it'll be delayed. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Be that as it may, softball at 11, depending on the weather. And then you've got the same kind of situation in Hoover today at the SEC tournament where Arkansas plays Texas in baseball. I'm excited about this game. This is an example of a game that really doesn't have a lot of meaning, but I'm excited to watch. And we get, I think, caught up too much sometimes in what's the outcome? What's the impact of the outcome of the game? Well, what does it mean? Or where does it get you? And sometimes it's just great to watch a game, And in this case, the impact is beating Texas. For a lot of people, that still matters. I know some people just never have fully gotten that rivalry and all the things that come with it, but just stick around. Just pay attention to Texas, and you'll get it too. Just pay attention to them, and you'll get it too. So I'm excited about both these games today. One is obviously more meaningful than the other with the chance to go to the College World Series. Let's hit some headlines. So Arkansas plays softball and baseball today. Kahio Aloy, Dave Van Horn made it official yesterday, has a broken hamate bone. Bart went through the anatomy yesterday of where the hamate bone is located in your hand. And would you just quickly, if we could go to the Chevy at Fayetteville situation room,
like
for people who can't see, could you describe where the hamate bone is?
The base of your hand, basically, toward the base.
The middle of the base of your hand.
Right here.
Just inside the bottom of your thumb towards your palm.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible. Arkansas men's golf team secured a berth in the NCAA championship with a third-place finish in Corvallis at a regional on Wednesday. And this is terrible. NASCAR icon Kyle Busch, two-time Cup Series champion, who won more races across the sport's 3 national series than any driver in history, died at the age of 41 on Thursday. This was all over the internet and just sad story. He was complaining in a recent race of having some sort of sinus issue to the point where he radioed in that he needed to see a doctor and got back and, did an interview the other day about something. He said he was feeling a little bit better. I guess yesterday, according to reports, he was testing something in a simulator and became unresponsive. And they rushed him to the hospital where later in the day, he was pronounced dead. And this is just stunning. 41 years old. And it just
he won a race like 5 days ago.
Yes.
5 days ago.
Yeah, 5 days ago. And said, do we have that clip? I mean, this is just, here's what he said after winning the race.
Your 69th victory in this series, your 5th right here. Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is, so.
Jeez, that's just, crazy. We say things like that, but you're really, not to get too deep here, but we're all looking forward to something, and it's all about what's the next good time or when do I not have to do, when do I get off work? When's Friday? Whatever it is. And we're just not guaranteed any of it. That's just chilling. And obviously our thoughts are with that family, and that's just, it's an awful story. But Kyle Busch has passed away at the age of 41. Then we have the NBA playoffs led by an 18-0 open or an 18-0 run to start the game. The Knicks beat the Cavs.
Not to start the game, later in the game.
Let me read what Bart wrote. Led by an 18-0 to break open the game, the New York Knicks beat the Cavaliers 109-93 to take a 2-0 advantage. I don't know why I tried to read that, but that was an 18-0 run late in the game.
It broke open.
The win
could have been better phrasing
by
on my
an
part.
18-0 run. I think the run was meant to break open the game. Perhaps maybe. Yeah.
This is why we
Chuck's Knicks won. That's what you need to know.
Chuck's Knicks won. Cal was at the game.
Yep.
And all right, so where are we in the NBA playoffs? Why don't you guys catch me up real quick?
Chuck's Knicks are up 2-0 against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals,
Yep.
and Edwards Spurs are tied 1-1 with the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. Spurs play tonight in San Antonio.
Is Wemby going to be a superhero tonight like he was in Game 1? Or is he going to be a regular player like he was in Game 2?
He was a regular player in Game 2.
Well, the parts I saw.
Yeah.
What did he do in Game 2?
He only had like 21 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks.
And what did he have in Game 1?
Well, he had 41 and 24.
That's a superhuman and a regular NBA player.
Well, you know what the big...
Or a regular NBA star.
I won't get into what the real problems are.
Well, go ahead.
Nobody wants
we all do. No, we do.
Nobody cares.
Real quick.
Well, Dylan Harper got hurt. De'Aaron Fox hasn't played, and Steph Castle, who is a former UConn guy, it can't handle the ball. We have no ball handlers. That's the problem right now.
Is that problem going to continue? Bart needs to know for his wager.
Both of those guys who are hurt are questionable for tonight. Could really use Dylan Harper.
Sounds like we need to load up on the other team.
Maybe. In San Antonio tonight.
You mean your beloved Oklahoma City Thunder?
Load up on the other team. Cal was at that game too, in OKC. Then he went to.
I want to know what Cal genuinely thinks about the way Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plays basketball.
You should ask
I want to know his real thoughts.
Well, I can promise you this: Cal doesn't speak negatively about his guys.
I know. That's why I say I want to know his honest thoughts.
Well,
deep down.
I mean,
in the
who's to say he's not being honest?
Who's to say?
You know. I can tell you who's always honest with you. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They're going to tell you exactly what you need to have done, and then they're going to stick to whatever the budget is, the deadline. They're going to come in on time and on budget. And they're doing something that's unprecedented in the roofing and remodel business, which is they can help you with financing. They can help you with your deductible. So if you need your roof done now, but you were really hoping that you could hold off until a few months when you had a little bit more cash, they can help you with that. 0% financing, 0% for 12 months, low fixed payments over time, no payments for 60 days in some cases, flex payment options, including on your deductible. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, proud to be premier certified contractor for both Malarkey Shingles and McElroy Metal Systems. When you work with Teamwork, you get an entire system. You don't just get bits and pieces thrown together. You get guaranteed stuff. Teamworkbuilt.com is the website. You can check out their work there, get a quote, get more information. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, remodel, and now cabinetry, built on quality, powered by Teamwork. You know, see, this is what Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Life is better with community banking from First Security, where personal connections make a difference every day. Families get bankers who know their names, know their needs, and love to help. Businesses work with responsive lenders who make fast local decisions that help build success. And communities thrive with First Security because our team is rooted here too. Choose the power of personal. First Security. Bank better. fsbank.com, member FDIC.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
For every million people, we've got 2 NFL players.
Yeah, that's really bad. Among the worst in the country.
It'd be something to speak at to an elementary class about doing whatever you want. Hey, listen.
We've got, what, 310 million people in
You could
Arkansas?
be one of the 6.
310.
You want to be one of the 6? Get started today. Push-ups. Let's go.
That's about right.
Meanwhile, Mississippi, a state with a smaller population than Arkansas, has about 14 NFL players per million people. So dug into the numbers
Less
a little
competition in Arkansas if you want to grow up an NFL player.
Yeah. In the 1970s, Arkansas produced 42 NFL players. In the 1980s, 44. In the 1990s, 33. In the 2000s, 32. In the 2010s, 27. And so far in this decade, which is more than half over, 12. That's the ball game right there.
Sports part of a small town's identity, not just in Arkansas, but throughout the South, throughout our country. When you lose that, your town loses an identity, and over time you lose hope. And I realize I'm getting in some areas people don't like getting into, and I'll live with that. But I've just watched it, and it is a byproduct. And I'm going to tell you something Ryan Silverfield's doing that I like. I like the fact that he's signing in-state kids. I don't know if they're any better than the out-of-state kids. I have no idea. We'll find out when they get here. But I think it's important for high school football players in our state to feel like they can come play for the Razorbacks. I think that's important. I think it's important for towns to see that. It's part of their identity. It's part of who they are. And you never know when one of them is going to produce the next Traylon Burks or somebody like that, or Darren McFadden or someone. But you got to put yourself in a position to get those kids and to have them out there in the first place.
I appreciate you saying all that. There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Roger and the team are always there to help.
I love it. I've been doing this for 53 years, and one of the things I love most about it is our customers. Part of what makes me love the retail business is just the interaction with my customers.
Macadoodle, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're looking for tough, reliable equipment for people you trust, WT Equipment delivers. WT Equipment is a local, family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas, and they've built their reputation by carrying the brands you know and depend on. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, and Steel, they have the equipment and implements to get the job done right. Whether you're tackling a big job or everyday work, WT Equipment offers a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance, including compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more. Their lots are packed and ready to move with special deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built to handle any job you throw at. Nobody does light construction or hay and forage better than WT Equipment. Backed by trusted service and support long after the sale. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today or log on to WTEquip.com. Tools you trust and people you know. The Chuck and Bo Show on demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
I will confess, I've reached the point in my life when my main goal every day is to get home. So once I'm there, it's going to take quite a bit to get me back out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We got into this yesterday, and we're back in it a little bit today. The article that Christina Long wrote covering the Board of Trustees meeting, where they heard the report on revenue opportunities and spending for Arkansas athletics after hiring a consulting firm conducted by, the review was conducted by a group called Navigate. And to me, you know, I realize that mostly as a fan, you don't get into the weeds on where money's going, how it's spent, and all that. But we're in a completely different time in college athletics where it has become, once we started paying players, all about the money and who has it and where are you going to put the money and what do you want to win at? What sport do you want to win in? Arkansas has got 49 regular season championships in the last 10 years. That's 11 more than anybody else in the league. They have dominated the SEC in the other sports beyond football. But there is a desire here to win in football. So they've commissioned this report, and Christina wrote about it, and she's joining us here on the Chuck and Bo Show here at 7:37 on a Friday morning. Christina, good morning. Great job on the article, and thanks for making time for us today. Christina, can you hear me? We might have to dial her back up. Yeah, get her back. So the biggest takeaway in this article for me, and we talked about it at the end of the show yesterday, was the Board of Trustees and the athletic director have to now figure out what they want to do with the resources they have and the sports they're winning at versus what they don't have in football and what they're going to do about that. And there's a second phase of this report coming, which is phase 2. This was the report about, the athletic department as a whole. Phase 2's coming, and it's going to run comps on how Arkansas is doing in football, what their resources are like compared to what this group called the direct peers of the Razorbacks. Schools like Missouri, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Auburn. And they're taking all this information, they're taking it all in, evaluating it, and then they've got to make decisions on what they're going to do, meaning Arkansas could decide not to put the money they've put towards the programs they've been winning with, and they could dedicate more resources to football. Christina back with us. Christina, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you on. Great job on the article. What was your thought going into this, and what did you leave thinking after you saw this information and what came out of this board meeting?
Well, there is a lot of information in here. And I think one of the important things about this is, I think when people hear Board of Trustees meeting, they kind of think that a decision was made or an action was taken, and that's really not the case here. They were just hearing all of this information. They actually heard really only a fraction of the presentation. There's about a 70-slide deck from this consulting firm, and they went through probably less than half of it. The trustees have all the information, but as far as what was discussed, it was really less than half. And so nothing was actually acted on. The consulting firm Navigate, they made some recommendations for some ways Arkansas can spend its money and can also earn some revenue. But none of that is stuff Arkansas has to do. It's now kind of up to campus leaders and the athletics department to figure out what they want to do. So I think my biggest takeaways were, there was so much in here. This touched so many different areas. This is not just about football spending or just about revenue generation. It really touched kind of all areas of the athletic department. So I think one of the bigger takeaways was some of the stuff about the way Arkansas does its ticketing. So one of the recommendations they made was about Arkansas. They basically found that Arkansas does really well in ticket revenue, but they don't do well in what they call per seat contributions. So basically people are not donating as much to get their seats across all sports as they are in other schools. And they basically found that Arkansas, of the schools that they evaluated, which was a group of 32, Arkansas is the only one that does not require separate donations for each sport that you want tickets to. And so one of their biggest recommendations for kind of a win now sort of prospect in terms of generating revenue was do that a little bit differently, require separate donations for different sports, which some people have said Arkansas used to do back in the day, but I don't know how long it's been since they've been doing it this way, but they found that that's kind of uncommon, and that would be kind of an easier lever to pull. So that was one of the big takeaways from this. But there were all kinds of things in here that were like that were, hey, here's kind of how you compare to your peers, here's what they do, here's what you could do differently if you would like to.
So when I hear that, I know people complain about the athletic department asking for money, and it feels like they're always asking for money. But when you have a consulting company come in and tell you, well, people are asking for more in other places by charging you per sport, per seat, not like Arkansas does, they're basically saying, hey, you're leaving money on the table here. Am I right?
Exactly. And I think that was exactly the message, was that, you could be making more. And I think one thing they actually mentioned on the call, one of the consultants said something about this, about a lot of people, anytime you do sort of a seating sort of, we've called it reseating at Arkansas when they've done it with Bud Walton Arena and Baum Walker and things like that. They're like, it looks bad politically and it looks bad from a PR standpoint. But their suggestion was, if you decide to do this, give people lots of advance notice. Tell people, hey, in 2 years, your price is going to be this, or your donation is going to be this. So you give people time to get used to it, time to figure out what they want to do, time to save if they need to. So that was like their idea of how to help that. There's still going to be people who are not willing to kind of to pay more. And that's, there's always going to be people, nobody wants to spend more on things. I certainly don't. But I think that's one area where, just like you said, they basically were saying, you're leaving money on the table. You could be getting more for this.
Did you get a sense of why they felt it necessary to do this? Because on one hand, it feels like, if I'm the AD, I'm like, well, like, this is my job and I figure this stuff out. On the other hand, if I'm the AD, I might be like, I need people to understand what this is really like. and what the decisions
Yeah.
are really like.
So
How did this come about?
Right. So campus actually requested that that the athletics department do this. I don't know if this was I don't have a specific request that was made, but I had FOIA'd some emails, which everyone loves. I had FOIA'd some emails back a couple of months ago, and Chancellor Charles Robinson, in an email to System President Jay Silveria, had mentioned that he had requested that there was an evaluation of athletics department spending by an outside entity like this. I don't know if that's, I am assuming that this is the result of that. I don't know that this came specifically from the chancellor. I think the board also wanted this. They kind of spoke when they were discussing this about, okay, this is the information that we wanted. So I think this kind of was leaders even outside the athletics department wanted this kind of evaluation. They wanted to see how Arkansas kind of stacked up with its peers. So this was requested that athletics do this.
I realize that in this role, you're the reporter and you're just delivering the information. And again, if you haven't gone to wholehogsports.com and you care to understand how this all works, I think it's very well written. It's easy to understand, and it gives you a glimpse of what's happening in college athletics and how you can have an athletic department that's won 49 regular season SEC championships over a decade, 11 more than any other SEC program, but you're not winning in football. And so they're faced with this task, it seems, if they're going to try to have an initiative to pour more into football and win, whether they take away from sports that are actually winning championships. So I'm going to ask you, to do something that maybe isn't your job here. What were some of your takeaways? What did you leave thinking about what might happen, what they've got to decide, what has to be figured out, and what all this really means?
Yeah, I think one of the big takeaways was they had a really interesting evaluation of they mapped all these sports, every sport Arkansas offers, on this chart, and I have it in the story. Of on one axis is profitability and on the other is exposure potential. And they base profitability on revenue figures that are reported in all this documentation that Arkansas has to file. Exposure potential is based on TV viewership of the NCAA championships for these sports. And there's a couple of outliers. So football is high on both, high profitability, high exposure potential. You're going to make money off of it. People are going to care about it. People are going to watch it. Men's basketball falls a little bit toward the middle, but is more of is also kind of an outlier. Women's basketball is also an outlier. It's lower on profitability and exposure potential, but it's higher than some of the other sports. One of the outliers that is a little bit alarming is track and field. And track and field is pretty low on both. It's lower than the rest of the sports on both. And basically what the consultants were trying to say is, hey, we're not telling you how to spend your money, but one of the things that they kind of asked in there was, this is specifically, I'm reading from the presentation slide. It says, does Arkansas want to scale back investment in any of these sports to be more in line with peers, even if that sacrifices the likelihood of on-field success? And the sports they were talking about there that were kind of outliers in terms of they spend more than their peers were track, baseball, and men's basketball. Baseball and men's basketball are higher on that list or on that chart of profitability and exposure potential. Track is not as high. I'm not trying to be alarmist. I do not think that track is going to get cut from the University of Arkansas. I don't think we're going to see something like tennis. I think they would be a long way from that happening. I do think, if Arkansas has decisions to make in terms of how it's allocating its resources to its sports, and the track program is funded pretty well compared to some of its peers, and I don't think they're satisfied with what they get necessarily. I think they want to continue to get what they get to stay competitive, but that's going to be a decision that leaders at Arkansas have to make: is are we going to continue to fund them at the level that they are at to keep winning these championships? They might decide to do that. Personally, as someone who covers track, I think that would be great. I like covering track and following the track team a lot. So that was something that stood out to me. I also think some of the football findings were really interesting. This firm is actually going to go back and do a specific in-depth football analysis, and they'll present that later. They didn't say when, but down the road they'll present that to the board. But some of the football findings they had were really interesting. They basically found, they have all their data models, and using Arkansas spending on football over the last 5 years, which I don't believe includes this past season because they go in fiscal years, which is unnecessarily confusing. But they basically found that over the last 5 fiscal years, based on what Arkansas spent, they would project Arkansas football to win 4 SEC games per year. The actual that they had was 2.2. So they basically found that based on what you're spending, you're underperforming relative to your spending. They found that recruiting-wise, in terms of recruiting expenses versus recruiting ranking, they're getting about what they're paying for, which is maybe not the best thing. Maybe they want to be getting a little bit more or spending a little bit more. So there were some interesting findings in there with football specifically. They're going to keep going on that. And I think, there's so much in here. There's so much about how they can get more money and how they can spend it.
Really well done. Great stuff. Wish we could do this for hours. I know it's difficult to really to shorten it, but we gotta hit a break. But Christina, it's really good stuff. Christina Long, wholehogsports.com. Go check it out. And thank you for making time for us today.
Yeah, thanks. I know business talk is not always the most exciting.
Well,
so I
it's the
appreciate
life
you
of
taking
college
time
athletics right now, unfortunately. Thanks, Christina. Have a
For
great
sure.
Memorial
Thanks,
Day
man.
weekend. 7:49. Good morning. Nobody gets you ready for football season quite like the Chuck and Bo.
That's right.
Nobody. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, here's a Memorial Day sales offer you don't want to miss. Up to $14,000 off MSRP at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Save up to $14,000 when you buy a new 2026 Chevy Silverado. But don't wait. This offer is only good during the Memorial Day sales event at Chevrolet of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive. Log on to ChevroletofFayetteville.com for complete details.
Hey, it's Bo. What should you expect when it comes to a roof or a remodel? Here's Teamwork COO Brett Husky.
We make it easy. That's the first thing. When we looked at this, we felt like the process shouldn't be hard. And the easier we can make it for customers, the easier it makes it for us and for our people to continue to do business.
Teamwork Roofing and Construction, making it easy and now offering financing. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by Teamwork. Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to JamesBoyett.com. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
About
Well,
because we
that's
don't
all I
want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at PascalProPath.org.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to JamesBoyett.com. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing like a day at the ballpark.
cold Yingling lager. First pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America, it's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager, crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager,
switch to light lager,
and stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorback.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
The swearing has really taken over the vocabulary, right? It's lazy, you know.
Well, when you don't know what else to say, you throw that out there.
You just
at least that's been my approach.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We are not expecting an announcement on the softball game until 11 a.m. when the rain's here and it gets delayed. They're not going to announce, oh, we're moving the game back. We're changing the game time today. That's not going to happen. So it's going to be a situation where you just have to watch what the weather does. But when you look at the radar and you look at the forecast, it looks as though this game's not going to happen until when, Bart? Why don't you tell us a potential start time as Bart sees it in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room?
Oh, man.
I've got my own time in mind.
There's a little bit of a window. Maybe they start an hour later around noon.
Yeah.
It's not a very long window, and it's not even a guaranteed window. I'm thinking like it's a 4 o'clock situation.
If
maybe.
I was the tournament director and I could go make this call, I'd say we're not starting this until like 5 o'clock when the rain chances have dissipated to like 10%.
But the
that's
NCAA doesn't do that.
That's not going to happen.
Neither
I hope
NCAA
this
and
thing
ESPN
doesn't start, and then they've got to stop it, and they got to start it again. And
they'll do that. The NCAA will absolutely do that if they have to.
I told Bart, just be happy. It's going to be a later start than it was. It was an answer to prayer. But no, somebody's still got to screw it up.
Yeah, well.
Get in God's way.
That's the way of the world.
7:55, back in a few.
You know, I love talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, and Bo's latest selling experience is a perfect example of why. Within 5 minutes of listing his home, Bo had a showing, and just 2 days later, he had an offer. And just like my own experience with them, they took care of everything from start to finish. That's what you get when you work with a trained real estate professional. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been turning houses into homes since 1978, serving Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and Branson. For more information, log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
Arkansas fans know that some things are just timeless, like a spring afternoon at Baum Walker or the roar you only hear at Bud Walton. Our friends at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry believe your milestone should be just as enduring as the Razorback spirit. They've spent over 35 years helping fans celebrate their big moments right here in Northwest Arkansas. Whether you're marking a graduation, an anniversary, or just a big Saturday in the SEC, let their teams help you find that perfect piece. This spring, go big, go bold, and go to Blakeman's in the heart of Pinnacle Hills.
Hey, it's Bo, and it seems like every day somebody else is asking me about the Sweatnum Edge. It's real. It's a new me. It can be a new you. It's completely changed my energy level and my exercise gains. My mind's clearer. I sleep better. Life's just more enjoyable. If you get drained in the afternoon, or maybe you just can't shake that weight, do what I did. Take the Sweatnum Edge. It's a free consultation. You get your results, and they'll give you a game plan. Just search the Sweatnum Edge or log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com.
Interviews, highlights, behind-the-scenes access, and so much more. Varsity Vibe is your go-to for high school athletics in Arkansas. Learn the stories of coaches and players in our Varsity Vibe podcast. See the biggest plays and the best performances highlighted on our social media platforms. And if newsletters are more your style, we've got that too. High school sports at your fingertips. Varsity Vibe, elevating the game.
I don't want Lane Kiffin at LSU. I want weird stuff going on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas fans know that some things are just timeless, like a spring afternoon at Baum Walker or the roar you only hear at Bud Walton. Our friends at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry believe your milestone should be just as enduring as the Razorback spirit. They've spent over 35 years helping fans celebrate their big moments right here in Northwest Arkansas. Whether you're marking a graduation, an anniversary, or just a big Saturday in the SEC, let their teams help you find that perfect piece. This spring, go big, go bold, and go to Blakeman's in the heart of Pinnacle Hills.
We talk a lot about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because our experience has been great. And Bo, you're going through it again right now.
For the second time. My son's a first-time home buyer. Him and his wife got a beautiful home. And for me, I just turned it over to them. They gave me a few things to sign, and it took all the work off my plate. And I just sit back and watch it happen.
That's what happens when you deal with a trained real estate professional. And that's what they are at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
At First Security Bank, banking isn't one size fits all. It's personal because everyone's financial journey looks a little different. From managing day-to-day spending, running a small business, to helping your kids learn more smart money habits, or taking that big step toward buying a home. At First Security, you get the services you expect, the technology you need, and the real support of local people who live here, know the community, and take the time to understand what you're trying to accomplish. Life moves fast, and having a bank that moves with you makes a difference. Whether you prefer stopping by a branch, banking on the app, or picking up the phone to talk with someone who actually knows your name, First Security is there. They offer smart tools like mobile banking, bill pay, and mobile check deposit, along with thoughtful solutions like flex banking for kids, checking built for small businesses, and local mortgage lenders who guide you through the home buying process. Choose the power of personal. Bank better at First Security. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You and Bart are going to be rolling around in the home.
Okay.
No, let's not get carried away.
Well, that's a great topic.
You're putting
That is a
years on me here.
Oh, hold on, though. That's a great topic. You in a assisted living home, and you holding court, and you being pissed off at people. That's a great topic.
Bart's
What does
gonna have an
Bart
illegal
look like
pudding
at
racket,
86? What does an 86-year-old Bart look like in an assisted living home where he's in there holding court and telling people that he's going to run the place? He's going to run the place. And then, he's going to maybe get thrown out. Do people get thrown out of assisted living?
They do.
places?
They do. There are many, and I'm one of them. You've been through this with your parents, and I went through it with both my parents. You see some of the most incredible things, some of the funniest things you've ever seen in your life. And all you can do is laugh when you get in that situation. And I suspect Bart will provide a few of those moments when the time comes, and I hope I do too.
I can see it. Can you see it, Bart?
No, not right now.
Come on, that's way too far out for Bart. Bart should not think about that.
Right? Oh yeah. I'm just talking about you and dealing with people. And get out of my room.
Well, I mean, look, nobody wants to be invaded.
There will always be.
Well, the good part is
touchdown.
you can say those things at that age and completely get away with it. I mean, completely get away with it.
Can you imagine Bart having a podcast in 86 and completely saying whatever
The whole
he
world's
wants?
going to hell in a handbasket.
Whatever he wants to say. Totally, kind of like the show, but you just another level.
Yeah.
Just on another level. The Chuck and Bo Show on Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
It is crazy how simple it can be to fix something, but Bart will come over and he'll immediately have it fixed.
I know. I understand.
When somebody does that, when they come over to fix something, I'm happy if they find something really simple. But the other times you're kind of like pacing the room, just waiting for them to. Because what you don't want to hear is, oh man, it's kind of like being at the dentist. You don't want to hear a swear word come out of the dentist's mouth.
No.
when they're in yours.
Ooh. The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm at my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
11 a.m. softball game. We'll see if it starts at 11. Probably won't. We got rain in the forecast till an hour or so after that. Baseball scheduled to play at 3 in Hoover against Texas. We've been through it already today. Chuck's out. Holiday weekend. Memorial Day is coming up Monday. Clay Maxey's joined us in studio. We're going to take some calls here. But Clay delivered the Pro-Land title breakfast fund today. And when I say delivered it, if you're in the area of where we do the show and you're hungry, and if you'll pull up outside and honk your horn, it'll be like, I don't know, Meals on Wheels or whatever. Like, we'll bring it to you. We'll just bring it downstairs.
Toss it out from the balcony.
Yeah, we'll throw it out from a window. Something. I mean, there's enough.
To make sure everybody has
you came in. It took like 6 people to bring breakfast up.
I got excited with the menu.
I think I may have overordered. And he went to the buttered biscuit and didn't realize like everything's a combination of food, right? Like you just think you're ordering the burrito or the meat bowl, scramble bowl.
Bart looked hungry.
Man, I'll tell you what, Edward can put away some breakfast. He'll eat a couple of those meals. At his age, it's no big deal.
That's right.
I was proud of you guys that you don't have the door code is not like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that what you tried when you?
No, I was just like it's a random number.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Not going to ask the.
Yeah,
there is significance behind it.
There is.
There is significance.
That's really good. My dad passed away a few years ago, but his phone code was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
and he had it taped on the back of his phone to help him remember.
That's awesome.
That's what mine is.
just in case.
Yeah,
I forget. And if you find my phone, please open it up and call somebody in the contacts. Exactly. Well, Brian in Ozark has called in. I can only imagine what this is about. Brian, good morning. Brian, I hear myself on your phone.
Is this Sterling?
What's going on?
Oh, we got the names mixed up. This is Sterling.
Oh, you've got them backwards.
Yeah.
Well, Sterling, I'm sorry. I apologize on every level. What's going on, Sterling?
I tell you what, I just turned 50 a few weeks ago, and Chuck told me happy birthday, and that was a great thrill to have the great Chuck Barrett say happy birthday.
I wasn't here, I guess. Happy birthday, Sterling. I know it doesn't feel the same coming for me and all these days later, but, happy birthday.
But 3.5 weeks later, I've got the worst insult I've ever received in my life. I've been calling all things. But Brian from Ozark.
Yeah.
Might be the worst.
I know. I know.
It's tough.
I know. Edward's eating breakfast. Got things
backwards. Edward, I think you need to apologize to Sterling.
Sterling on every level and with every fiber of my being. I'm sorry. You two called out at the exact same time.
I forgive you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a good moment right there.
All right, now let's move on. What do you got, Sterling? We got to take care.
Guys, we have I think for the longest times we've been having 19 sports. Now, I need no disrespect to these sports that I'm leaving out, but I'm kind of like what Nelson said earlier. I've never heard anyone talk about tennis in my life. I didn't know they was. I mean, I knew we had a tennis team, but I didn't know we had a tennis team. If you catch my drill.
Yeah, I do.
I can't name not one tennis player that ever played at the University of Arkansas. Not one. And I mean that literally.
Well.
And like I said, I mean no disrespect.
I understand.
At all. And for the people to come down on your check like they did it over, I mean, I get it. Trust me, I do get it. But on the other hand, I don't. Because I never heard these people talk about tennis, but they criticize them for it going down. Now, like you, I want to win in football like no one else. But not to say, not to suck at everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we can do both. And I think 12 sports, I mean, we've been at 19 for a while. I think 12 is good. You got, in the 12 sports, and, baseball, softball, football, men's, women's golf, gymnastics, men and women basketball, track and field, men and women soccer and volleyball. That's enough. I think we can win in those 12. And I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with cutting some sports to be good at everything, to cut some out. Now, I hope that don't make me sound like a bad human being, but that's how I feel. And I can be persuaded, but in my humble opinion, I think those 12 sports is plenty. They last all year round, and see where we can go from there. I don't want to just send out to not adequately fund anything. If we're gonna have it, I want to try to be successful at it. If we can't be, then not have it. If it's not worth trying to win, we don't need it. That's just me. But I'm nobody. That's just my thought.
Brian
Have a
knows
great day.
today. Yeah. No, I agree with you on a lot of levels. But here's the thing about college sports and the way a show or media works is we're talking about stuff that fans care about most of the time. Like what's driving conversation? What are people sitting around talking about? And that's what we're probably going to talk about, or at least attempt to. And the other way to look at it is just because it's not a fan-driven experience and lots of people aren't coming out to games doesn't mean there's no value in it. That's not how it started. So if you go to the high school level, I mean, you're offering sports for participation purposes. And then we just took that up a notch in college. So it's not like they're not going to look at sports in high school like, well, there's not a ton of people at the games. You're creating an experience. What's happened now in college athletics, though, so that's how we started. You just take it up a notch from high school. That's how we started in college. What's happened now is it's become professionalized and it's a business. So, Clay, you run businesses. Clay Maxey brought in breakfast today, ProLand Title Breakfast Fund. However we did this and however we get breakfast every day, it's beautiful. We've all got to eat. We happen to be on the air at the time that people would normally eat breakfast. So that's just the way it works. Thanks for breakfast, by the way. I mean, and when I say breakfast, I mean thanks for. I don't know if anybody else is going to be able to eat over there because you brought the entire restaurant. But as a business person and a sports fan and a lifelong Razorback fan, when you hear about these conversations, like what are the thoughts you have with the whole thing?
Well, specific to tennis, my wife's an avid tennis player. We love tennis at our house, and so it's it hit close to home with that one. And so, you almost can personalize stuff and you forget, like you said, that it is a business. So to generalize the whole topic, and then people want to jump on Hunter and talk about the decision making, and everybody's good after the fact, right? We're all good at making decisions after somebody's made the decision, and we can be critical of it. Nobody's waking up today going, man, I'm really going to try to be bad at my job. I'm really going to try to make the worst decision possible I can for the University of Arkansas. Now, we've got some of the best business people in the world in this community, right? I feel like what we could do, not to cut anything, not to get rid of any program, but we've got all these great business people in this community. Let's bring in an advisory team and let's come up with more ideas that can drive revenue to the university, to the, you guys were talking about it yesterday, I believe, the retail that we could bring to the stadium.
Yeah, the mixed use real estate that they're doing at other schools like Wake Forest and Kansas.
Yeah, in my businesses, I've got plenty of departments that make more than other departments, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to cut the departments that aren't the highest revenue drivers, right?
Yeah.
It's what makes my businesses more attractive. It's what makes the university more attractive. And so, you just have to understand that baseball's not going to make as much as football does, but we're not going to cut baseball. And that doesn't mean we have to cut tennis, but let's come up with what is the overall budget, and then let's find a way to hit it.
Yeah, it's a great point, because I think what you're talking about too, when you talk about good business, you don't have a good business unless it's good for your customers. So if you create an experience that's great for Razorback fans, I'm not saying you still don't want to win a national championship in football, but you love the experience you're having. And right now it's like we're in between these systems and we don't have the right model figured out yet. And I mean all of college athletics, but each individual place can begin to figure it out for themselves. And what you're seeing across college athletics is a little bit of that beginning to happen. And these are this is the way things are now. These are the circumstances we're dealing with it. How do we turn it into an effective business? Meaning the customers give money, but they're happy with the experience they're having, and it feels like the thing they're paying for is headed in the right direction.
Right. I don't think we had an expense problem. We had a revenue problem. And let's find a way to drive more revenue than, we didn't have to be the first to the dance to cut something. I just felt like that was not the best look we could have. But, again, the ideas you guys are talking about with more retail drivers to the stadium, there's a plethora of ideas, and we got a lot of good, intelligent people around here that could help out with it.
So is Breen and Ozark still on the line? Breen, good morning.
Going on?
Oh, there you are. Hey.
Yeah, there I am.
There you are.
By the way, thank God I don't live in Center Edge. That's a place where people go to die.
Well,
I mean, that's it.
Well, what do you mean? Why is that so?
Nobody wants to live in Center Edge.
Oh,
Ain't
my
nothing
God.
there. It's like a dead pool. Like nothing there. Like Walking Dead.
What's wrong? Like, Breen, what's wrong
with you?
Oh, well, I'm allowed to take a shot back at old Sterling boy. Like you said, he ain't nobody. So, can't wait till 4 o'clock. You gonna watch the Hogs get their ass kicked?
Am I going to watch the game?
Yeah, you gonna watch the Hogs get their ass kicked.
I'm going to watch the game. I don't really think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I do, because obviously this game really means nothing to Texas. They're at top 8 lock.
So if it means nothing to
Arkansas
them,
not.
if it means nothing to them, then what makes you think they're going to kick Arkansas's butt?
Just because they can. They're better talented. That's have been all year. I'm just wondering, if you're going to watch them get their ass kicked. And that's all I got to say. Y'all have a great day.
So what's Arkansas's record against Texas in the SEC so far in baseball? What happened to that series at Baum Walker last year when Texas came in? Well, that's right. Arkansas won the series. Brian, seriously, I want to do something where we can help you. I really would like to figure out a way. This has gotten to the point where I used to just kind of go back and forth with you, but I really think that you're hurting. There's something going on in there, and it's just screaming inside, and it's coming out, and there's a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, and I'm serious. We want to help. So if you want to call back off air, Bart can have his own personal therapy session with you. And when we talk about healing the hurting, you're the picture I see. I mean, seriously. What was that?
Well, that's somebody who is plainly.
Here comes the evaluation. The Sweatham Edge, get a free evaluation. And Bart will do it for you. This is someone, continue.
Who's just a loser.
Okay.
He's just like that. That's what that kind of behavior
Do you want to
is.
quit feeling like a loser? Take the Sweatham Edge, get a free evaluation, and don't feel like a loser anymore. The Sweatham Edge. Hey,
Yeah.
Brian, even for you, buddy, if you want to come by, we've got breakfast here. We got so much breakfast. If you find yourself on College Avenue in the heart of Fayetteville and you want to pull outside and honk, we'll bring you breakfast down.
And then I'll open it and eat it right in front of you. But,
Wow,
I'm
that'd be
kidding.
Brian.
I'm kidding.
That'd be Brian. Pro Land Title doing the breakfast thing for us every day. The Pro Land Title Breakfast Fund. They've got 45 offices here in Arkansas, independently owned. They have the ability to put their clients first because of that, and the ability to say yes to transactions a lot of companies cannot do, because they've got a great relationship with a huge range of national underwriters that allows them to say yes more often. Cheer for the pigs. Close with the pros. Pro Land Title. ProLandTitle.com. Man, what a weird, exciting, rainy Friday morning. I didn't know what Bart had on his mind this morning.
He's got a lot of thoughts today, and you people are going to listen to every one of them.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You get it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acuras, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutopark.com. That's FayettevilleAutopark.com.
Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
This is Chuck Barrett, and I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye Associates for my recent cataract surgery. They took great care of me. You have to have good vision to be the voice of the Razorbacks, and I'm glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye. I learned patients of all ages have a lot of options when it comes to modern surgery to reduce or even eliminate your eyeglasses. They've been taking care of patients for over 50 years, and that says a lot. So for your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Customer service is a buzzword. People just throw it out there. What is it to you?
Showing up when you say you're going to show up, returning phone calls, providing the service that you promised to provide. Because, I mean, if we're all asking to get paid for what we're doing, we need to do what we're getting paid for. And do it with a good attitude and being responsible, not only responsible to show up, but responsible to the relationship.
A relationship you can count on from Clay Maxey and the folks at Teamwork Roofing and Construction. TeamworkBuilt.com. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. You know, fine jewelry is about more than just a beautiful piece. It's about the experience of finding it. I did that with Blakeman's. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry, providing our community with over 35 years of personalized service, world-class diamonds, and crafted custom pieces. Discover the difference of a true luxury experience at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Blakeman's, where Arkansas gets engaged.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Imagine raising your family somewhere safe, welcoming, and genuinely beautiful, where the kids have room to roam, the neighbors know your name, and the weekends are spent on the golf course, the lake, or the trails. That's Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas, a vibrant community with year-round events for all ages, world-class outdoor recreation, and brand new home sites now available for families ready to put down roots. Small town, big life. Visit BigCreekGolf.com today and get more info.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, I just want to say we need to appreciate Boy a little more because Boy know what the hell he's talking about. Boy, too bad, boy.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, heck of a show today. Chuck will be back next week. Clay Maxey's with us in studio. He brought us breakfast this morning. Thank you, Clay.
Yes, sir.
Big Creek Country Club's where Bart broke 90. Are we going to do it again next year?
Oh, we have to.
Yeah, I think it's an annual thing.
Yeah, it's like
next year, maybe it's 89. Do you want us to drop the contest a shot every year?
Well, I'd like to break 85 next year.
Oh, there's the number. There's the number. There it is.
Go for that.
85. 85. You and I have something that we both got to get done in a year. You got to break 85, and I'm going to learn how to play the guitar.
When do you turn 40, Bart?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a story behind that.
I'm sure there is. I'd love to hear it. January.
Okay.
You got a big year of birthdays coming up. I turned 50. You're turning 50. Edward's turning 20. What are you going to be?
Getting old.
What are you?
I'll be 28.
28.
28.
Golly.
You hurt yourself stretching earlier.
The last time
just
Brian,
got my driver's license.
Brian, he just shaved for the second
Y'all were
time.
having to pick him up to come to
this
work.
year. Yeah, exactly.
Chuck's been bringing me.
Yeah. I went to school with some kids that could drive you to school, like in 8th grade. You mentioned that the last time after Brian's call that Texas beat Arkansas in a baseball series, you were 3?
Third grade.
No, third grade.
Third grade.
Third grade. About
Same
20
difference.
years. About 20 years ago.
Same difference.
20 years ago. But Brian is confident that Texas is going to roll.
We did have some
today.
great texts about Brian. Did you see any of
Yeah,
them?
I didn't read them.
You want me to
Well,
read through a couple?
you're welcome to.
One texter wonders how long Brian stayed up last night putting together that presentation. JT in Hot Springs says there are times that Bo drives me crazy, and then he makes up for it with what he says to Brian.
Wow. What a redemption story.
And then I was born in Texas, diehard Razorback fan. I'm ashamed of Brian and Ozark. So the whole town is being brought into it now.
I don't think he's from Ozark either.
I think
he's got a lot.
He's a charlatan.
People call in and say they're from someplace. They give him a bad name.
Yeah.
People don't like that.
Last
Hey,
one.
I'm from Ozark. I don't want to any of that stuff.
Last one.
Nobody there knows Brian.
Hey, Brian and Ozark, I just passed a dead deer at exit 37. It's time for breakfast.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Everybody loves
Brian.
Brian.
Brings out.
Again, Brian, just call for help. We hear you. But you should seek a professional beyond us. Hey, we talk about Big Creek all the time. What are some events you got coming up at the Big Creek Golf and Country Club and Mountain Home? And we got home sites for sale. That what an awesome place. If you're looking for a place to move to, live right on a golf course, I got a second place over there when I sold my house, and love going over there for a weekend.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful place to live. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to visit. We even had, of course, Bart stayed the weekend a few weeks ago, and that was obviously a gift to the city.
You never know, and
a lot of the
somebody
things,
like
man,
Bart's going to come to town.
So much has happened since then. The national retailers that have decided since Bart can go, we're going.
Yeah, Lulu's now in the golf shop.
Oh man,
I mean, for real.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Dior.
bringing national brands in.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's no telling what's next.
Hey, who knows? I mean, who knows?
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Top Golf.
Yeah.
Right there, adjacent to the country club.
Yeah, that's a given. They called in immediately after Bart shot the 89. So
yeah, big time.
We owe him a lot. They dedicated the $50 million for the aquatic center.
Yeah, tell me about that aquatic center.
Well, it's actually pretty unbelievable for a town like Mountain Home to have that type of facility. They've spent $50 million on the aquatic center, a huge basketball event center, 3 courts, obviously everything else that goes with it, tennis, pickleball, the aquatic. It's got an indoor pool that's for everything, for every type of swimming event they could host. I guess they do it in meters and yards, so we've got the pool set up both ways.
Not that I know, but
it's got a retractable roof, so the indoor
really
part, it's really neat. And then outdoor lazy river, it's crazy. So that's really cool for Mountain Home. Yeah,
Mountain Home's got so many amenities. I mean, really, like you got the rivers, you got the lakes, just beautiful. And then the golf course. I mean, Big Creek's such a great amenity for Mountain Home too. Like it's an awesome golf course. You pull in there, and if you've been to, Pinnacle or Shadow Valley in Northwest Arkansas, you pull into Big Creek and you're like, wow, I didn't know these homes existed here. And then the golf course is immaculate.
Yeah, we've got such a great team. Brent Edens, our superintendent's been there for 25 years, and what he's done with the course is really, it is like no other around. I mean, it's not something that you see in small towns, in the state. It's very special to us, and so and we treat it that way. And so when we have visitors, we have outside play. It's something that they leave thinking, man, this was special.
If you go there occasionally, $185 a month gets you a membership at Big Creek for out-of-town members.
Yeah,
no initiation fee.
And that's something since we took over. We've not raised the dues. We've just tried to increase the number of members, so we didn't have to increase what the members were having to pay. It's a really special place. I think the environment that we've created is a really fun atmosphere. We do a lot of events, including the families and trying to include the spouses. In fact, next weekend we've got a wine and dine, just a 9-hole scramble for couples. Last weekend we had the Governor's Cup where we hosted all the best golfers in Mississippi against the best golfers in Arkansas, which Arkansas ended up kind of rolling them. So that was really good. And then our 4th of July is going to be something special. We always have the best fireworks show in the area, but this year it's on a Saturday. It's going to be an all-day event. We've got that 18-hole par 3 tournament. You've played in it before. It's a blast. We set the whole course up as par 3s, and it's just a lot of fun. Like you said, we've got the new area open up on the back 9 where there's new home sites there, and there's just some really beautiful home sites looking over because they're kind of high up on the top of the hill, looking over the whole course and the clubhouse. So it's a beautiful spot in the world.
BigCreekGolf.com if you're interested in one of those home sites. First new construction in 20 years, BigCreekGolf.com. I'm looking forward to being there again on the 4th. One of the things that's cool is you guys have just created such a great community atmosphere, and you have all these get-togethers and things at the club. But I mean, it's like, it is living big in a small town, and it's awesome. You can still get around, go wherever you want to go, but you have all the amenities and things that you'd want to have. To enjoy as well.
That's I love going to 30A, and not to compare Big Creek to 30A, but the whole golf cart community, right? Everybody rides their golf cart everywhere, and it's just a very special place. Then when you get Bart over, and what that does, the electricity, the whole town.
You never know when a celebrity's going to come to town.
Oh man,
when Bart comes, everybody shows up.
It's just been really special, man.
We got to hit a break. Clay, thanks for bringing breakfast by.
Thank you,
big time. We'll have it all finished by like Thursday. Brandon Marcello, CBS Sports, coming up next.
Are we a bunch of idiots or what?
Yes,
we are. Yes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more. And they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and when it comes to a roof or remodel, let me recommend Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Here's Teamwork COO Brett Husky on what you can expect.
We're going to be there when we say we're going to be there. We're going to have really high-quality people that are going to be there that are extremely talented at what they do. You're going to get more than what you bargained for.
And Teamwork Roofing and Construction now offers financing. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by teamwork.
There's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
For every 1 million people, we've got 2 NFL players.
Yeah, that's really bad. Among the worst in the country.
It'd be something to speak at to an elementary class about. Doing whatever you want. Hey, listen.
We've got, 310 million people in
You could be one of the 6.
310.
You want to be one of the 6? Get started today. Push-ups. Let's go.
That's about right.
Meanwhile, Mississippi, a state with a smaller population than Arkansas, has about 14 NFL players per 1 million people. So dug into the numbers
Less
a little bit.
competition in Arkansas if you want to grow up an NFL player.
Yeah. In the 1970s, Arkansas produced 42 NFL players. In the 1980s, 44. In the 1990s, 33. In the 2000s, 32. In the 2010s, 27. And so far in this decade, which is more than half over, 12. That's the ball game right there.
Sports are part of a small town's identity, not just in Arkansas, but throughout the South, throughout our country. When you lose that, your town loses an identity, and over time you lose hope. And I realize I'm getting in some areas people don't like getting into, and I'll live with that. But I've just watched it, and it is a byproduct. And I'm going to tell you something Ryan Silverfield's doing that I like. I like the fact that he's signing in-state kids. I don't know if they're any better than the out-of-state kids. I have no idea. We'll find out when they get here. But I think it's important for high school football players in our state to feel like they can come play for the Razorbacks. I think that's important. I think it's important for towns to see that. It's part of their identity. It's part of who they are. And you never know when one of them is going to produce the next Traylon Burks or somebody like that, or Darren McFadden or someone. But you got to put yourself in a position to get those kids and to have them out there in the first place.
I appreciate you saying all that. There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Roger and the team are always there to help.
I love it. I've been doing this for 53 years, and one of the things I love most about it is our customers. Part of what makes me love the retail business is just the interaction with my customers.
Macadoodle, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're looking for tough, reliable equipment for people you trust, WT Equipment delivers. WT Equipment is a local, family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And they've built their reputation by carrying the brands you know and depend on. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, and Steel, they have the equipment and implements to get the job done right. Whether you're tackling a big job or everyday work, WT Equipment offers a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance, including compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more. Their lots are packed and ready to move with special deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built to handle any job you throw at. Nobody does light construction or hay and forage better than WT Equipment. Backed by trusted service and support long after the sale. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today or log on to WTEquip.com. Tools you trust and people you know. The Chuck and Bo Show on Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
I'd like to go to Augusta National.
I would like.
Never been.
I like how you say it better too. Augusta. It's phonetically pleasing.
I strive to be phonetic.
I know you do.
It's one of my goals every morning.
It's a good one.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Great place to watch the games today. If you can't make it, would be walk-ons. More than 60 televisions at every location. They're all over the state. Wall-to-wall TVs, foods all made from scratch. And ask about Flight by Yingling on draft. 95 calories, but tastes like a Yingling. Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. Brandon Marcello covering college sports, not what he got into it for, to cover the business of college sports, I'm certain, but that's where we are. And we continue to just look at what's happening across the conference landscape. The Big Ten had their meetings. The SEC's having their meetings beginning Tuesday, and Brandon's joining us to talk about all this. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, Bo. What's up?
Well, I looked at your tweet the other day, and I just said, okay, that's interesting. Here it is. The College Sports Commission is clogged and sputtering. By the way, that's the group that was supposed to vet all the massive NIL deals, anything above $600. Then it says congressional action on college sports is still up in the air. And then it all has Big Ten administrators asking, is self-governance on the conference level a possibility? Now's the time. Does anybody know who's in charge of college athletics, or is anyone in charge of college athletics? Discuss among yourself.
No. You know, it's funny because the College Sports Commission was created by the very people who are complaining about it. The conferences themselves, the athletic directors, and, but the thing that they built just isn't quite working the way they wanted to. And listen, this is the root of this issue completely, is that everybody is making these rules on the go. They're building the plane as they take off and fly it because they don't know what the future is going to look like. They don't know if they're going to get congressional help. They don't know if they're going to get federal laws in place that'll protect them with antitrust issues, which, of course, has been the NCAA's problem for the last 5 to 6 years because they keep getting sued over and over and over again. But we're at a point now where everybody's complaining about every little part of the system, and they have issues with it. And that is just going to continue until there is just an absolute hardline law or rules in place. And, you know, the Big Ten's idea, which is spreading, and the SEC folks are thinking about it too, is that, you know, with this CSC issue, part of the House settlement with revenue sharing, it's everybody's allowed to pay, you know, $20.5 million in revenue sharing. And that number is based off of the average revenue across all the power conferences. Well, the Big Ten's idea, or at least some ADs, is that we should do the average revenue for the Big Ten, which would be higher than the SEC at this point, which would give them a competitive advantage in revenue sharing. And they also want to be able to overlook their own deals and everything because of the CSC's issues. But, you know, this is not a new idea. I mean, this has been talked about in the past. I mean, I remember hearing about stuff like this, I think even 10 years ago. But it certainly seems like a reality all of a sudden. And what does that mean for the health of the sport of college football and college basketball? It just means that these conferences might be putting in more money to build out their own staffs to oversee things. And the question is just what's the legality of that? What's that actually look like? Will the enforcement arms actually matter? Because is your own conference enforcement arm actually going to punish your own programs? Listen, it's a mess, and everybody's got ideas, and everybody talks, and sometimes that becomes action points, and sometimes it's just hot air.
Yeah, I guess the question for me is like, what's the end game? What are we going for? And when I see conferences doing this, I think to myself, like, I don't know if it's good or bad, really. Like, okay, the Big Ten's going to do what the Big Ten does. The SEC is going to do what the SEC does. And then we get to the point where it's like, okay, is any of this going to hurt, like, what we all love about watching games?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question. And, you know, even as a reporter myself, I cover the heck out of all this, and I go, in the back of my head, all I'm thinking about is like, man, there's always Saturday, there's always Saturday, there's always Saturday. I know you kind of hate this stuff, but there will be games. And I have no doubt that college administrators love what they do, and they love the players, and that's part of the reason for them trying to fix everything. But the fact of the matter is that there's just too many cooks in the kitchen, there's too many voices, and there's too many people out there where they're trying to run this as a business. But the fact of the matter is, with sports, emotion overrides business sense a lot of times. So that's why you see people bending the rules a lot, because they want a competitive advantage, and they don't really get punished for breaking the rules. There's really no enforcement worth a darn. No one's really getting punished. And that's going to continue unless there's just some hardline rules and some protections where that they're seeking in Congress, where you can, you know, punish people and have a stronger enforcement arm that won't be tested by players and taking them to court and everything over every little, you know, issue that they might have.
Brandon, do we end up with 24 teams at the end of the day in a college football playoff? And if so, how long does it take to do that?
I think at some point, I don't think it's going to happen next year. Your guess is as good as mine as when that happens. But, you know, everybody's on board with it other than the SEC. And it's not necessarily the SEC as a whole that doesn't want it. It's just that the majority of the votes right now doesn't want 24. I did kind of an informal survey of every coach and every AD in the SEC this week while I was out at Big Ten spring meetings. And what I found is pretty much a fractured voice in the SEC. Several coaches want 24. Several ADs want 24. More ADs and coaches want 16. And some of them want 16 with the commitment to go to 24, which is a proposal that was kind of lined out by the Big Ten a year ago that the SEC never bid on. And Greg Sankey, to his credit, the SEC commissioner, has said, hey, our position right now is 16, but next week you're going to hear people saying they want 24. And the whole point of these meetings coming up is to provide them the information that they need so they can make an informed decision. Will the SEC come out and straight up say, hey, we've made our decision, we are not budging from this next week when they meet? I'm not sure, but they're going to discuss it at length next week for a couple of hours, which is more than they've ever done. And it's going to be fascinating to hear the differing opinions kind of go on the record about it. But as of right now, the picture is several want 24, but most of them want 16. And we'll see if that changes at all. And if it doesn't, then this system's going to stay at 12 teams for the foreseeable future. But you do have to wonder about the pressure from the outside, because every other conference wants this other than the SEC.
All right, last question. The Board of Trustees at Arkansas commissioned an evaluation through a consulting company called Navigate of how they're doing as an athletic department, comparable to spending and resources and making more money than other schools. And then they kind of narrowed it down to schools that they would put in the same tier as Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Auburn. And basically what it comes down to is Arkansas is overspending in some areas where they're winning, whether it's track or whatever. And Arkansas has won 49 regular season championships in the last 10 years in the SEC. That's 11 more than the second closest, Florida. That's 48 more than Missouri, who's won 1. And Missouri's been a lot better in football. And the question Arkansas seems to be facing is, what do they do about all this? Do they risk not being as good in some of these other sports and try to take away from that and maybe put it in football? What would you do if you were the Arkansas AD in this situation, or the Board of Trustees?
Well, I don't think taking money away from track is going to necessarily help football, because the percentage of that money compared to the whole that football needs is not substantial. You got to kind of mine different revenue streams. I know that's been a popular opinion and things said and everything. You got to get naming rights on your stadium. You got to figure out a way to create new opportunities that are sustainable. A lot of universities now, Tennessee, Kansas, they've started building out, real estate. That's kind of the future for college athletics and making money. So Kansas and Tennessee, for example, are building like entertainment districts, to kind of make money and sell space. Real estate's really the way to go. I kind of think of it this way. The University of Arkansas, I believe, and I might be mistaken here, Bo, but I believe they got a lot of land over there by the baseball field, if I recall. And I might be wrong there. Jerry Jones, I think, donated some stuff. They need to maybe think about doing something out there. I know that sounds crazy. Or doing something at the stadium and rethinking things. And now that's a commitment of, millions of dollars and everything. But the long-term gain there is possible. You just got to be really creative. And credit to the University of Arkansas for hiring a firm to do this. But, these are things that anybody could have told you. I've seen part of that report, and it's stuff that you can just go find on the internet. Why are you paying an outside firm to go do that unless they're giving you actual ideas? In this day and age, you got to be aggressive with things. And I know it's very hard to do, but at some point, if you're not aggressive here in 3 or 4 years, you're going to be going, well, we got to go get a payday loan, so to speak, or look at exactly whether we're ever going to be competitive in the SEC again.
I think one reason that you do it is to, like, if you're one of the people on the board trying to show other people on the board, it's like you could do your own research, or you can have a third party explain it to everybody. There's some politics, I think, to everybody, like, understanding what's happening.
Yeah.
But we said the same thing. I mean, if you're going to do this, hire us. We can tell you these things, and we would appreciate the Chuck and Bo Fund.
Yeah.
So we're going to start the consulting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I've always joked about that too. I need to start a consulting firm with some stuff, because sometimes I see these reports and I go, I could have made that in a weekend by myself, not with a team of 10 people. But That's the whole point of consulting first. You present it to the board, and it's got a nice little logo attached to it. And it's like, oh, this looks official.
Yeah, the slides look great. Brandon, thank you. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll talk soon, man. Appreciate it.
All right. All right, Steve.
It's Brandon Marcello, CBS Sports, 847, Chuck and Bo Show. I mean, look, this is what we do. We heal the hurting. We touch the hearts. We talk about the things that matter to people.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Life is better with community banking from First Security, where personal connections make a difference every day. Families get bankers who know their names, know their needs, and love to help. Businesses work with responsive lenders who make fast local decisions that help build success. And communities thrive with First Security because our team is rooted here too. Choose the power of personal. First Security. Bank better. fsbank.com, member FDIC.
There's nothing like a day at the ballpark.
Cold Yingling Lager. First pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America. It's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager. Crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager.
Switch to light lager.
And stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Olympic gold medalists, world record holders, national champions, and more. Watch the greatest track and field athletes in the world compete in Fayetteville for the 2026 NCAA Outdoor Track and Field First Rounds, May 27th through 30th. Witness greatness as world-class athletes look to punch their ticket to the NCAA Championships on campus at John McDonnell Field. Secure your tickets today at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
You know, I love talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, and Bo's latest selling experience is a perfect example of why. Within 5 minutes of listing his home, Bo had a showing, and just 2 days later, he had an offer. And just like my own experience with them, they took care of everything from start to finish. That's what you get when you work with a trained real estate professional. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been turning houses into homes since 1978, serving Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and Branson. For more information, log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
There's no better place to watch a game than Walk On Sports Bistro. With more than 60 TVs at every location, catch all the summer sports action while you cool off with mouth-watering Louisiana favorites like po' boys and gumbo, plus burgers, ice-cold draft beers, and cocktails made for hot days. Incredible food, outstanding service, and a game day atmosphere that never takes a season off. Visit one of the 5 locations across Arkansas today, including Rogers and Fayetteville. Walk On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Man, I love spending time at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark. Members enjoy it all. They've got state-of-the-art practice facilities, dining, events, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, as well as tennis and pickleball courts. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. Your home away from home.
Hold on, guys. I'm on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hold on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at PascalProPath.org.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to JamesBoyett.com. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Bentonville.
There's nothing like a day at the ballpark.
Cold Yingling Lager. First pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America, it's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager. Crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager.
Switch to Light Lager.
And stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple. If you listen closely, you can actually hear society crumbling. If you listen closely,
you can.
The Chuck and Bo
I just saw an article that youth sports has now reached a $40 billion with a B billion-dollar industry, and the article is wild. It says the only winner in youth sports $40 billion industry is Dick's Sporting Goods.
There's probably some truth to that.
What to watch brought to you by Macadoodles. Macadoodles will exceed your expectations as a customer. Everything is right where you expect it to be. They don't move stuff around. You know right where you're going when you get in there. They've got an unrivaled selection, competitive pricing, and every Wednesday's Wine Down Wednesday. That's 15% off every bottle of wine. You'll find them in Pineville, just north of Bella Vista, and at Guess Who in Bentonville. You'll love your customer experience at Macadoodles. Macadoodles bringing you what to watch.
Yes, sir. Softball game, Super Regional, Arkansas and Duke. Best of 3 series scheduled to start at 11 a.m. Expecting that to probably be delayed. Who knows how long, but we'll just kind of pay attention to the weather and see what happens. Baseball and Texas in the SEC tournament, 3 o'clock today on the SEC network. Again, they'll probably be dodging weather as well. Softball game on ESPNU.
11 a.m. is the first pitch, but we'll see because it looks like it'll be raining then. But I do believe they'll get it in today. It's National Road Trip Day, National Buy a Musical Instrument Day, National Craft Distillery Day, National Vanilla Pudding Day, National Cooler Day, National Solitaire Day.
That's a lot.
If your day's not in there,
That's
just hang around. Your day's coming. Missed anything? Get Chuck and Bo on demand. It's driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park, wherever you get podcasts and YouTube.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at pascalpropath.org.
Hey, it's Bo, and what if home meant waking up to bent grass fairways, mountain views, and a community that actually feels like one? Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas has just released brand new home sites right on the golf course. The first new construction in 20 years. These are premium properties in a safe, welcoming community surrounded by the natural beauty of the Ozarks.